Oh.
What up?
Oh, I like how I was introducing it like it was me, but it's not me anymore.
No. I am going to be the wizard here today. And my Gandalf or other wizard will be TJ. Yeah, what's up?
Okay. We're not doing the... Oh.
Hey.
Yeah.
Well, all right.
I'll like that picture.
Sam, get off your phone.
Shut the fuck up. You're on your phone. I was doing the scene countdown, and I was like, wow, Marcus was on his phone for a majority of the time.
I was looking up stuff. Also, my list was on my phone.
To be fair, I can vouch half the time it was like refreshing on his list, I think.
Right now, I'm just making sure the audio levels are good. Tommy's good.
Am I okay?
Sam, get off your phone.
Marco's good. I'm a little low. TJ, waiting for him.
You low?
TJ.
Yeah,
you're good.
That's good. Everybody's good.
You might need to
Oh,
tone
you?
me down.
Yeah, I was about to
actually.
say
You
like
might
you're
need to
loud
tone me
because you're on
down.
JJ's mic.
I'm on. Oh,
He's
shut up.
on JJ's mic.
Oh,
I was on JJ's.
That's right. Let me knock it down a bit. And then I'm what? 1, 2. Up there. You got your little fighter, Marcus. All right, good.
Fun fact.
What?
I'm going to throw out my sponsorship today.
Are they sponsoring us truly?
That's all he gas, people. That's all he has.
So because this is the pre-show, I didn't even put the camera on him, so no one noticed that.
Thank you. It makes me mad.
There you go. That's fine.
Is Truly your favorite of like seltzer drinks?
Hell yeah, by a long shot.
Can I try some?
When did we ever think we'd get to the point where we were like, what's your favorite seltzer drink? A hard seltzer,
Which
right?
one do you
Yeah,
want?
yeah.
Red. Whatever red is.
I was about to say like there was
Is
a
that
time when there was no seltzers, and now
It didn't exist.
Yeah,
And now, thanks to White Claw and CVS, they're everywhere.
well, like now even Topo Chico has a seltzer.
I know. Like, I was at HEB when that shit dropped, and people were swarming on it like they were fucking vultures. And it was just a fucking animal carcass.
There's liquor in that?
Yeah, it's pretty great.
That's just delicious soda.
Yeah, it's pretty
Truly.
Says 1% juice.
Give
on
me
it.
some more. That's really good. I mean, how many of these do you need to get fucked up?
A
Well,
lot, not a lot.
To be fair, these ones, because they're 200 calories, number one. That's why I drink them. So they're 200 calories, so you keep your waistline tight. But
That's why I swim.
God, that's really good.
honestly, I've gotten. It does take me a little bit, but you drink. If you have the 12-pack.
Okay, Morty. Or Rick.
That was more Rick.
Rick, I'm sorry. Yeah.
If you have the 12-pack, just go through the mango, go through the strawberry, and those will get you fucked up.
Go
How many are in a
through them?
pack?
Yes, yeah, like
12.
Is that to drink 12 of them?
No, I said go through the mango, like 6, so like half or 2 of these things.
Yeah, but
Two of those
You're
cans.
famously a lightweight. That's what you say whenever we go out together.
Oh, that's because I'm not an alcoholic compared to a lot of people our ages.
That's
I'm not even
Texas.
saying you
Or
guys,
just
but
Austin.
like, no, even Santa Barbara too. Like, I just lost my will to drink. Like, I used to be a drinker. Like, I could hang. I can't hang no more. Yeah, it has to be like a
you are
perfect.
not a
little thing.
man.
What kind of 1952? You don't have a wife or a picket fence. You're not a man.
I don't want
for doing that.
either one of those things.
You kind of do. I know you do.
I definitely don't.
I do not.
I'll tell you that one for free.
Picket fence means white people. I'm good.
Yeah, which means he's
What's
gonna
wrong
get
with white
harassed.
people?
Well,
A
you're
lot.
you're
got
about
an
you're about to
hour or
voice a lot of opinions on them based
Not
on
all.
our
Not all,
pre
Grant.
podcast.
Our pre
But you know,
podcast just means yelling at
who I
Marcos.
do like? Tarlin. What's up, Tarlin?
Oh, he's in the chat.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
That's that. Don, I'll get the raggedy ass car out of your front lawn
No.
very soon. No,
Really?
dude, it's been dead for over a
I
year.
know, but I thought you got rid of it. I didn't think you left it
No,
there.
the problem was that it was titled in my dad's name. Everything shut down. I couldn't get the title. I finally get the title tomorrow.
I really want to say something, but it might be offensive. But I'm going to say it anyway.
I was about to say,
I'm going to chime in. In his defense, they really, like, everything was pretty shut down. They didn't even make you have a registration renewal for like a year.
You're not
Yeah.
helping the Mexican cars.
Oh, I
leaving
know.
Cars in people's front
Dude,
lawn.
I go on Marcos' street. It's all cars on people's. It's probably theirs.
I was about to say, at least you didn't leave it on his yard.
Yard, yawn. Yeah. No,
Oh,
Fine,
so
both
it's in the
things.
driveway.
no, it's in the street.
It's in the streets.
Oh,
It's
it's
like
fine
not
then.
disruptive.
That's fine.
So,
Yeah.
but I mean,
That's more black
you
people.
You got to kind of stand.
The city is about to take it away. Is what's
My
gonna happen.
dad had an '85 Buick on the curb for like 2 years, and then they finally towed it away.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
No.
you might be
The
okay.
neighbors were giving him shit, and
I think we're at 18 months.
Oh, yeah, that thing's as good as gone.
Nah.
You should have just sold it for parts.
No, I know they wouldn't let me without a title.
Oh, that's
even the
right.
parts places.
Get
so.
your dad to sell
Yeah,
it.
yeah. It's done now.
So you have the title now.
Tomorrow.
Okay.
It's coming. It's in the mail. It's in the mail. It took me a
Okay.
month from when I went back to get it signed, to get it going.
Did
Everything's
Donald Trump
fucked
fuck up the postal service that much?
Yes.
Okay, I believe that.
Yes.
So Don is saying that the neighbors sick the police on your car and they didn't tow it away.
The neighbors tried, but they won't tow it. Neighbors.
Yeah, no, like his neighbor has a LSU flag. It's like, fuck you, you Louisiana.
Wait, time out.
Bitch.
It is in front of.
It's in front of his house. It's fair game. It's
Yeah,
part
fuck
of his
'em.
property.
Yeah. Hey, Don. If they give you any more trouble, I got connections.
We're talking about gun control this
No,
episode.
legal connection.
We can get you a gun if you want
not
it.
the
Don,
bad
just
connection.
tell him to suck a dick and call it a
Well, he
day.
doesn't want it because they're his neighbors, but I was like, hey, Don, give them my number and I can talk to them. So I could tell him to suck a dick.
Okay.
But that was
Somebody just
but
needs
but
to.
but Don is so cordial, he wouldn't want to
No, I mean,
Yeah,
Don's
that's not
a
Don's
super
nature.
great guy.
Yeah.
He's like the shit.
I mean, literally, no one could dislike him.
No,
Sure,
but
No,
the
no.
problem was that made me scared, not scared, but like nervous for him was that he was like, yeah, I'll go out in the morning and the doors are open because there's nothing value in there. But I'm either thinking people are either shitting, pissing, or sleeping in there.
Well, you're helping somebody.
I guess, but it's not good for him.
I mean, they can't camp
Yeah.
anymore, so you're
Right?
giving them a home.
Don said they gave up. So
Yeah.
I mean, I'm just weird.
And as soon as they give up, it's gonna be gone. So
See, what
patience is a virtue.
What weirds
is what
me
I'm
out is
saying.
why would someone come out their house and care what's happening? Because
it makes the
neighborhood look bad.
Are you kidding me right now?
Yeah, property values.
Come on, you of all
As
people.
if as
I
if
get that. But
no.
Don's white. That's what I'm saying. Like,
No, but-
why
True,
does it
they've
matter?
seen him around.
No, but they saw me around one when I was living there, and two, there's cars on the end of the street, same way. They're just like lifted blue trucks, but nobody's complaining about those motherfuckers. But and my not my car's like ugly. It's clean. It's just dirty from the dust. But it's not like it's hoopty with a bumper missing
No,
and,
it's a nice-
mismatching
it's a
paint.
decent vehicle, you know.
It's just old, and so it's just it's been a pain in my ass because I feel bad that Don's had to deal with people harassing him, and now it'll be remedied by the end of the week. I'll sell it for $200, $100. I'll donate to a church. I don't give a fuck. Right off of my
Cars
taxes.
for kids. Great
Yeah.
charity. Yeah.
Cars for kids.
Actually,
There
you should turn whatever profits you make into pennies, and we'll take the pennies and throw them at his neighbor's house.
I'm down.
I like that.
We'll see. I'll buy.
That
we'll
was
use-
the most-
We'll use some of those monies for slingshot, and then we can slingshot
you
them.
gotta have slingshots.
Dude, I think it's the funniest thing that he was like, fuck that LSU dude. And I'm like, you were just talking about New Orleans yesterday.
LSU's a fine institution.
LSU
My cousin went to LSU.
LSU is
and got
dumb.
drafted by the Jaguars. He's no longer in the league.
Was it because he was not good, or because he was drafted by the Jaguars?
A little both.
Okay.
So it's more that they wanted to throw parties and couldn't get the space.
One space.
That space. Basically, it's taking up one of his friend's space.
Fuck his friend. Their friends. I don't. Why do I need to care about them?
Also, most people, if you're having a party, don't care that you parked in front of their house for a night.
But it's not even their houses. It's his house.
Well, I don't think it was for the night.
And
I think
Don
it was
doesn't-
just like he had
Don-
a big fiesta, invited 20 people, and it's like they ran out of places to park on this small block because that wasn't great parking when we were doing the podcast there.
Right. But like none of these people they're all old white people. It's fine. They're not throwing extravagant things. It's Corona. They shouldn't be throwing extravagant things.
Well, it's kind of dying down now.
Well, then it's a good time I'm getting it off his
Well,
lawn.
there you
The
go. I think
CDC
it's the
passed
perfect
to
time.
something that said, fully vaccinated people don't have to wear masks. and
I
you're-
know.
Yeah, they
You
said
were
this is okay now.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, of course, it's been
time out,
okay.
time out. You weren't here yesterday, but we're vaccinated. We don't know what you are.
Yeah, you're a weird man.
No,
You're in the
no.
null and void zone.
Sam did say he was Johnson & Johnson.
Yeah, no, he's discounted.
Yeah.
Because Johnson & Johnson.
Yeah, he got.
I'm Dollar Tree vaccine.
I was like that 80 something percent. That's not 90.
Not good enough for you?
I don't like that.
Well,
One
tough
shot?
shit, yeah.
One shot? Really? Let me know when you get two, when like a grown adult, all right, Tommy?
I don't think I can do that now.
Get 5. No, you need a booster now. No, is that Pfizer? Pfizer needs
All
a
of us
booster?
need
All-
boosters.
all
All
of
of
them
us
need
need
boosters.
boosters.
Fuck, when does that happen?
So fuck off. I'll do the booster.
I think it's 6 months deep.
6 months.
Shit.
So 6 months I got to get another one of these sons of bitches?
I mean,
I don't like shots.
in general, you're supposed to
I
get
am
the
not a heroin
flu
addict.
vaccine every
I don't do
season.
that.
Cool, September. That's fine.
So time out. Don, you got one more month and then you can go get vaccinated. Hey,
Yeah,
man.
because he got Corona near
Yeah.
the end of when the
damn.
vaccine.
Them
So
antibodies is in there.
right, so he's got
God
antibodies,
hates him.
but
yeah, but
So
I
he
mean,
just has to get one now.
but when he gets the vaccine, it's gonna kick your ass.
Oh, it sucks
and
from what I hear.
and we're gonna go to Red Lobster. It's gonna be a good time. Come on, TJ. Let's run it back.
Dude. No, I will. I'll let me know when you get it.
'Cause Don-
and I'm gonna send some fruit baskets. I'll have a nurse there.
I tell you what, guys, a discount vax, you may make fun of it. Side effects not terrible.
That's why. Shit doesn't work.
My arm was sore. Shit, what else do you want from me?
I want you to get another shot like
It
a
counts, man.
I want you to be out for 3 days like I was. Like a man is out.
Marco, were you out for 3 days, sir?
I was out for like a day. Really.
Exactly.
That was a day.
That's because he doesn't.
Soldier.
That's because he doesn't have emotions. He doesn't feel.
He does.
The
He's
military
like the
beat
nicest
it out
guy
of
in
him.
the world.
The military beat it out of him.
Time out.
He's got all
That
sorts
is
of
a very-
typhoid,
That's a very fair statement.
syphilis. Marcos, they gave you everything. They give you everything in the military just so you're immune to it. So he's already been fought in all the other antibody
That
things
is
that they have in
not
the front.
Hey, that's not
He's
the
got
Pfizer.
We don't have. I don't have a COVID vaccine, but I got polio.
cholera. You probably have cholera at one
If he
point.
was in the 1920s, he'd be great, right?
Dysentery. You probably got all of those things, and so you already have a robust immune system to those things.
Yeah, that was great.
I know people were like, Corona's the worst thing in the world. It's terrible, and it is terrible. Like,
Well, I
but,
did have it.
Well, you got it.
I had it, yeah.
When did that happen?
Oh, God, it was at the beginning.
The day before he hung out with you.
I'm about to say, you rascally bitch.
No, but I mean, compared to the shit that puts you in iron lungs, I'm good.
Oh yeah, I'll
It
do that
sucks,
5
by
times.
the
Oh,
way.
the Spanish flu.
For those who didn't have it, it fucking sucks. It's
Yep.
terrible. You feel like you're dying. So, yeah, no, it's bad.
So get your shot, whatever you
Please.
get. Vaccine and Johnson, Moderna.
Whatever.
That actually
Tostitos, get your shots.
brings us to the pre-show topic, just because it's current events. And I know Sam always says, "Don't have heroes, kids. They're all terrible
No,
people."
yeah, they're
Don't.
terrible people.
Don't have heroes. Not even your parents.
No
They'll
matter
let
who-
you down. Everyone
yeah.
will.
Hey, look.
Everyone will.
Well,
this is what I do.
Except my
with
parents. My parents are. And my
Lie to
grandma.
your parents. That's all you have to do. My mom still thinks I'm a virgin. Keep it that way.
Yeah, I think.
You're great.
Mine.
You
thinks
were
so,
found
too.
in a cop car with another.
My mom didn't know about that.
Officer Riley did him the
He was
courtesy.
a homie.
Yeah, Officer Gilbert did not rat me out on that.
Officer, you knew his name?
Yeah.
Remember shit.
Yeah.
Well, I actually I'm used to probably UFC fighters and boxers letting me down just because they work by nature and
Oh, that's the
conservative
wrong
things.
heroes. to
Yeah, why
have.
would you do that?
Because they're still really badass.
In the octagon? Yes.
Right. Yes, exactly.
Outside
but
of
I've
it, not
learned
so
not
much.
to listen to their political ideas, which is fine. Like
So
that,
no
you
Kobe
don't have
Covington
heroes.
for you.
So just hide who they truly are. Got it.
Right.
Yes.
Wait, did someone say truly?
Come on, work on that label out. There you go.
I need to get everyone the party whistles.
Right. Anytime we have our sponsor of the day.
But I actually got let down today, but because it surprised me. Because
Really?
no.
James Franco.
A fighter?
No.
Is it a fighter?
Oh, it's
No,
a fighter. Okay.
that's why I brought up fighters, because I watch them a lot. But I've learned not. If they
get
talk
hurt.
about politics, just throw them away.
Right.
Don't even
Listen.
It's actually more surprising the other way when they're liberal. It's
Because Canelo's super anti-Semitic. You didn't know that?
probably.
I'm just making it up. I don't know, but it sounds like it's in the area. He could be. We don't know because he
seems
shuts
like
up
a
about
cool
it.
guy.
He seems like a cool guy, but what if he was just wildly anti-Semitic? What would
Manny
you do?
Pacquiao would have been a very good
Well,
example.
Manny Pacquiao
Yeah.
is extremely homophobic.
Oh,
yeah.
incredibly.
But sorry, Canelo, don't hurt me. You're not, to my knowledge, anti-Semitic. But you were saying.
No, it was just going to be, I'm going to tell this story, and then I kind of want to hear you guys' similar story, because it sneaks in with you. You fall in love with these people because they get 24 media access, and it's just kind of all right, I let this guy get a pass, and then 6 years later, you famously like Kobe Bryant. There's shady.
It never happened, Marco.
And if no,
It
so,
did. No, it
so,
totally did.
yeah. Whatever happened, I'm Catholic, so I must forgive him forgiveness. He sought forgiveness and acted through it. So in my eyes, Kobe, whatever bad he did, I think he's in hell. God's already judged him now at this point. So whatever he's done may have had some sort of, he may have repented for it. So there's a chance that his immortal soul is fine.
Here's the deal. He went to the court. He got acquitted.
Right.
So by the eyes of the law, technically.
Did he get acquitted, or was there a payout?
Yeah, he didn't go to. Was it a civil suit or was it?
I think it was civil.
Oh, it was civil. Okay, well, I don't know.
Point
then.
being,
he's dead now.
I was
So what
saying-
the fuck
one,
difference?
one, he's dead, and two, he was starting basketball charities for little girls.
I'm not saying. I'm just saying that it's an example of they slip in, even for someone as black-hearted as you.
Yes,
No.
yeah.
Picking people to like is not an
say
exact
black
science.
I have a great example.
Oh, I have the
As
example. I'm gonna take it.
But so today I found out, of all things, Cole Beasley is an anti-vaxxer.
Who? Cole Beasley.
Yeah.
I just like, I don't like him. I just
He's
like his
not
name.
even a Cowboy anymore, so what difference does it
He's
make?
also not that great. So I
He
don't-
makes, dude. He played with a broken, like the femur bone.
He's a good little slot receiver.
He's a good slot
I
receiver.
mean, he's
Yeah.
fine.
Yeah, but that's my favorite kind of
That's
white.
your little
The
guy.
white receiver,
The Wes
Welkers,
the Wes Welker,
the
Julian Edelman.
Amendolas.
Yeah. Yeah, and then I don't know where this dude just goes on a rant today about like if I don't get the vaccine, like it only can hurt me, right? So fuck everybody else. And I was
God, it
like,
sucks.
So that's less about
Hey,
him being.
welcome to my world, Marco, when your favorite football player does something fucking terrible. Yeah, it's real. It really hurts,
I'll
right?
take the anti-vaxxer over yours.
Yeah,
No shit.
Hey guys, did you take the anti-vaxxer, the butthole diddler versus the serial rapist Bill Cosby? That literally
Oh,
was
that's
mine.
right. Yeah, it
That's
was
literally
yours.
mine, guys.
Ray said that he interviewed Cole Beasley and he was super nice.
I bet you, but he's also a dumb man. That's okay. You can be nice and dumb.
Sure, he was an anti-vaxxer.
Worst case scenario, because Cole Beasley doesn't have the pull like other people do, so it's like
Sean Watson.
right, like if Dak Prescott was like, "Don't get your vaccine," kids will listen and be like, "Fuck you, mama,
Bro,
don't
Cole-
get a vaccine."
Yeah, as soon as you
Cole
like,
Beasley,
well, that's he makes amazing catches.
Admit something
is he
to
still
Marco.
playing?
Yeah,
It's in Buffalo.
he's in
Buffalo.
Buffalo.
Sure.
That's why he was playing with a broken femur.
Small market. He's not. He doesn't have the. He doesn't have the eyes on him. Like he does.
Ray's saying that he sneezed on him.
Our friend Ray Tony
During COVID,
Ray's like been since.
is an announcer for just the general things, and so he's been in the NFL
He's
draft.
announcing volleyball right now.
great
isn't he?
announcer's
Tennis.
voice.
Tennis.
And but anyway, he went to the NFL draft a couple years ago, met Eli Manning, met Cole Beasley, and apparently sneezed on him. So just give people who don't
happens,
know who
I
Ray
suppose.
is if they
I
don't
mean,
know
look,
who Ray
like,
is.
in terms of like, I just when it's heroes or people you give a shit. It's Cole
it's just
Beasley's
like
like
you
a
re-
man. Like,
Yeah, it really is.
You
cool
like Cole
dude.
Beasley.
It's Marco's hero.
If Tony Romo was anti, I'd be mad. I'm like, no, Tony Romo. God damn it.
Well, Tony Romo has the same thing. It's a small dude that shouldn't be as good as he is, and
He's a good announcer.
He's a
And,
great announcer.
Yes,
the greatest
in
Mexican.
Kobe's defense, if you read the court reports for Kobe, she changed her story multiple times. So fuck off, Marco.
I was
No.
just using it as an example.
Right, but that's not a good thing to be accused of.
Yeah.
Like if there's legitimate proceedings where you're accused of that means there's some concern.
You
Just-
never looked at the same way
Right.
again.
But the
Right.
ultimate,
Again, I know about this
the ultimate
because my favorite football player, Deshaun Watson, accused of 22 accounts of sexual misconduct.
Misconduct.
and unfortunately, you got to be able to stay as net neutral as possible.
Yeah, I'm just saying.
Who knows, man? Like again.
Oh, someone just subbed.
Carlin gifted a tier 1 sub to Tone Royal.
Oh, Ray Tony
Hey,
Royals now
alright.
subscriber to the Mexcellence.
Tarlin, don't
Nice.
think we don't notice that you up to 34 gifted subs throughout your lifetime on the channel.
That's why we're taking you to Red Lobster. I'm taking Red Lobster.
Also,
I-
Boots
I-
Benel.
Only
Red
one in
Lobster.
town, so
Bootsy not, Bootsy not needs to come to
why
town.
does it have to be Red Lobster?
Make
Because Red
reservations.
Lobster's delicious.
Never been to a Red Lobster.
He likes the Texas Roadhouse.
Oh,
Take him to Texas Road. Give him some peanuts.
Well, no, not Texas Roadhouse. No.
That's Logan's.
No, Longhorn. I'm
same
sorry.
thing.
Wait, is it- no, I think it's Longhorn Steakhouse. He likes Longhorn.
Longhorn.
Steakhouse.
This
No,
was-
let's take him to Texas Roadhouse.
Oh, I like Longhorn better than Texas.
None of these people are sponsoring us. Truly, might.
But Truly's is, because we're truly going to be a success. But in other news,
was a
y'all's
vuvuzela.
heroes. And
Like I
let
said,
down.
Bill Cosby let me down.
Oh,
So the reason why, just the short and the long story is, I was only allowed to listen to clean comedy growing up, and Bill Cosby was exactly that. So my first introduction to comedy, the reason why I'm even fucking here, a lot of my mannerisms and the way I built my timing is based off of Bill Cosby's method. I watched the Cosby Show.
Sorry, I'm watching Tommy judge.
Disgusting.
I know. He made,
I've always hated Cosby. I love saying that. I've always hated him since the Cosby Show. TJ, I've hated his ass.
It's a weird. I have a weird relationship with Bill Cosby.
I always hated him too.
I always
See,
hated.
Out of
his
all the
Only
all
reason
the
I
three
watched-
historic black dads, Family Matters, Fresh Prince, he was
Yes.
the worst one.
Oh,
Like,
Uncle
not
Phil's
even funny.
always number
No,
one.
but his stand up was something I could relate to because he grew up, lower income. He had a bunch of brothers. One of his first album was called "To Wrestle My Brother Whom I Slept With." I've had to share a bed with my brother at given points
Did
of
he
my
roofie
life.
him too?
No, he didn't roofie his brother.
I don't
no.
know that for certain, man.
But like I know himself almost verbatim, like the whole special. And so when they're like, "Yeah, he raped a bunch of people," I'm like, he couldn't have raped that. He raped 80 people. He raped 120. Oh my God, he did all of it.
it took
And
120.
No, I'm just saying. I'm just saying.
Like your level of disbelief, right?
Right.
Like you're
It
trying to
didn't
hang
shock.
on.
Well, see, the thing about that is it was known already.
Right, I didn't know because
I
I'm
totally knew.
12 and I didn't know.
I still disliked him before I knew about that, and when I knew about that, it really made me fucking hate him because he was always talking shit about young black men as if we wasn't shit. And I'm like, who the fuck are you?
need to wear suits when you go out.
I
kind
can
of
we
shit.
never do that again?
Then
No, we must do
It's
the
rough.
Cosby.
I'm not putting the camera on.
These are the only
cut
times
this
now
out.
that the immersion is real now. You. I don't get to do this voice much anymore, TJ. I'm not allowed to do it because he molested
Yo,
300
Tommy, can you
people.
hurry up and say Yo Hero example?
He already said it. He said
upset.
Deshaun
Well,
Watson.
Sean Watson.
Well, no, sort of, kind of. Like, it's been a lot. It's been people that I've really never had a hero that let me down.
I was
Deshaun
being,
Watson
being
like-
really colloquial
Paul
with,
Rubens.
with Hero.
People that you vibe with pretty heftily.
I was gonna say a person that like I liked and I kind of did maybe inspire to be like his methods rather as far as comedic and shit was Louis C.K. I love Louis C.K. And then that shit happened.
He jerked off into a bush.
This is why
a disgusting human being.
I have comedians who I put my faith in, right? But it's Greer Barnes and Dave Chappelle. That's it. It's hockey.
Yeah,
You know, Dave
I think
Chappelle's done
it
some
kinda-
scandalous shit though. He just hasn't
Well,
got out yet.
I don't think you'll ever find out.
I don't think
He's
we'll
a
ever find
family
out.
man.
Yeah.
I don't
He's a
think he
family
did.
man.
I actually think he's
It's pretty upstanding.
like he tries to keep it real.
Yeah.
That's why we love him.
I'm just
Not everybody's
concerned.
Bill Cosby, Sam.
I'm just concerned. I
or
don't,
Louis C.K.
I don't want my heart broken again, and he'd be the only one that could. Because the rest of them are Catholic. All my favorite comedians are Catholic somehow. So, just by accident.
I was about to say, like, Seth Rogen probably could if he ever did anything.
Well, he's not looking great at the moment, but not terrible.
Seth Rogen.
Yeah.
What does Seth Rogen do?
Nothing.
Well, it was a co-star in The Disasters. I forgot her name.
Franco.
Well, no, the female co-star. I forgot her name.
Emma Watson.
No,
Well,
she,
that was in.
she was in. She was in Knocked Up. She was the Asian girl in Knocked Up.
Asian girl. I don't know.
Yeah.
She doesn't have a name. I know who you're talking about.
But she basically said Seth Rogen enabled James Franco, and so recently Seth Rogen has said, "I'm never working with James Franco again. The relationship is pretty much severed." And she put out a tweet that said, "Okay, if that's the case, I have a list of things for you to do to make amends and so on." I'm pretty sure
I
he'll
would have been
do
like,
it. Yeah.
hey, I said I'm not working with him. I mean, I'm working with you. Take your list on somewhere.
I got to go write season 2 of Invincible. I'm sorry.
I
just
personally,
laugh.
I don't have
All you
heroes
gotta do is
either.
laugh.
Yeah, it's not a
I don't really
right
put a
thing
lot
to
of
have.
stake into a bunch of celebrities. But that said, YouTubers left and right, just pedophiles.
Saying
Every time-
YouTubers?
Yeah. I mean,
Oh, yeah.
Every time,
Oh God.
every
Like,
time a YouTuber gets to be a pedophile, that shit's terrible.
like Boogie just shot in the air and got arrested. Big old YouTuber guy.
EDP.
Huh?
EDP.
Oh, EDP is an actual pedophile or tried to be.
What the fuck?
You heard
I'm
about that, right?
I don't follow YouTubers.
He was caught in 4K.
Do you know who EDP is?
no.
EDP is a really big, obese Eagles fan. He's like the Eagles fan.
Well, that should have told you
So,
something.
so if you've seen any videos of like
expected
an
behavior out of
ultra,
the Eagles.
if you've seen an ultra Eagles fan, if you've ever seen those memes, it's
Yeah.
that guy.
Oh.
And he got caught trying to hook up with a 13-year-old girl that was like a Chris Hansen
God
style sting.
damn.
Is that better?
Because the method that didn't happen, or the methodology wasn't done right, he got off.
Boots, can you hear
because they
TJ
didn't
a
do it
little bit better?
Hey, is that better?
right. Yeah, you're probably a little bit further from the
No, I was a little bit further, so I'll
Yeah.
just speak a little
Fist and a
closer.
thumb.
Well, that's fucked.
I'm good.
All right.
This is
Jesus.
But no, seriously, like, there's a bunch of YouTubers. It usually happens to either
not a
gaming ones.
surprise.
I think like half of Rooster Teeth got in trouble.
Yeah, I did hear about
that.
Rooster
That
Teeth.
was kind of not a good
I mean,
thing.
Rooster Teeth's in town, so
So there might be some opportunities once more people get caught. TJ, I'm gonna export you out so you can go work at Rooster Teeth.
I'm good.
I don't think that's a
Yeah, I
wise
don't think
brand to
he'd
work
fit,
for
yeah.
at the moment.
I'm pretty sure I'm okay at the company I'm at, so I'm fine.
Fair enough.
Yeah, if out of all of us, I think he's the best one.
Fine.
Yeah.
No, I don't want to
I've
go work.
noticed
Why don't you go work?
I don't want to work for Rooster Teeth because they're all they molest me.
They will.
Sorry, Rooster Teeth, if you ever partner with us.
They won't
They
now.
will not.
This is the pre-show. This shit get
I mean,
it all gets
I
cut,
think
baby.
they're mad at the dad company, aren't they? Didn't they have a little beef with?
Full screen? No.
No, he said the dad company.
But
I could.
Oh, no.
I could see that.
Oh yeah. Well, first of all, then the dad company don't ever use
I just
that.
mean in the sense that they
Don't-
splintered all
They
these
are.
other. Yeah.
They are. No matter how you split it, that's exactly what the fuck it is.
Anyway.
So
don't have
YouTubers, YouTubers, Cole Beasley, Deshaun Watson.
So YouTubers,
Cosby.
comedians,
Louis
and
CK,
artists. And, I'm sorry, athletes.
now across the board, most of us have sexual things and sexual in relation to sexual issues, and then we have anti-vaxxers.
Whoa, issues.
Issues.
You said us?
No, I
That's
meant the
you,
people
you weird-
that
Oh,
we
okay.
chose.
I was say you
In a-
weird
in
sex
whole,
pervert.
okay.
So the people that we chose have sexual issues and
Yes.
vax issues,
Right.
but none of them have gun issues.
That is a shitty segue. I knew we were going with that. You gotta-
Somebody had to do it,
Well,
Sammy.
it's called
You weren't
Marcos.
doing it.
It's called Marcos. He's
Good
got the
job,
controller and is ready to set us up to
no,
get into the
no,
show.
bitch. What would you do?
What would I do? From that? Man, it seems like we need to get this conversation under control, which is why we need to talk about gun control. There you go.
That's worse. His was better.
That's worse. But that being said, we're gonna have a quick break and then
See
we'll
how-
jump right back.
See how
in.
it's working now? That means it worked.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Mongrel Radio. Today we're talking guns.
And sorry, Senior Two Phones, we're not talking about my guns, but I appreciate you.
Oh my god.
That was a better segue than we had.
One
get
and
us to
two.
the
Yeah,
he helped
see?
us out on that one.
I got like pistols.
You got nothing. Put those.
Shut up, Tommy.
Nah, but it's all angling at the moment. Not to say that I'm like a scrawny dude or anything, but I appreciate it.
We're all thick. Welcome to the show, everybody.
We're all variations of thick.
Right.
Basically, yeah.
Marcos, get us in control here. Get in control.
Well, I'm going to start off as probably being the second thick or the least thick. My name is Marco. I'm the host. And I'm going to go to the other side to... We're going to go through thickness today for no reason. On the blue mic today.
Oh, I would guess I would be the last on the list of the thick kings. Tommy McGrew.
And to my right on the orange mic.
Oh, it's TJ.
And the most thick.
You bet your sweet ass I am. Sammy Gonzalez, welcome. I'm writing down, what did you say, King Thick? Or I just
That was
lost
me,
it.
yeah.
No, I just lost it. Was it King Thickness? No, fuck it. I'll go back and look at
There
it.
you go.
There's a t-shirt idea in there, and I lost it by having to introduce myself. Welcome, everybody, to the show.
Okay, so we are talking about guns today, and I'm gonna let everybody know right now that I'm playing mediator because I'm gonna have to stop a certain someone and a certain other someone.
Yeah, they were going at it. When
and
we
y'all,
walked in,
we
yeah.
walked in here and they were going at it. So
Yeah.
if TJ says stop, we are stopping.
When the black people say stop, comment.
Because we ain't got to see, like, we literally, I walked into, y'all don't understand. So we walked into, I walked to the apartment. I'm the last one because I was running a little late. And as soon as I walk in, it's like, just seeing these dudes go back and forth.
Are
And
you
it's not, they're aggressive. Like,
No, it's very civil, yeah.
Are you saying the Mexicans are getting too rowdy for you?
No,
You racist?
The exact opposite,
No,
actually.
fuck yes. Yes, I
The exact
was.
opposite. We weren't angry enough.
No one wanted to murder each other or anything.
Is that the expectation?
Yeah, according to Donald Trump, yes.
Okay. Since when do we use him as a barometer for anything other than incompetence?
Oh, God. Well, apparently half the population does for whatever goddamn reason. But that's neither here nor...
Liz Cheney, we'll talk about you later.
Yeah, you'll get your day.
But it is a very passionate subject,
Especially in this state.
especially in this state and where some people originate from of differing opinions.
Right.
Therefore, I am going to be playing mediator today.
You're blocking the camera, sir.
Feel free to say what's on your mind. But if I hold up one finger, you're going too far, and 2 fingers means I want silence.
Tone down. Otherwise, he'll have to use his guns, and it won't be pretty.
I was actually.
If this ends in a fight, I think we'd use the ratings, honestly. I'll take a black eye for it. I don't care. Better than getting shot.
I will not hit you. I promise.
You did say once, though, that there was a 99.6% chance me and you would get in a fight.
Yeah,
Oh,
someday,
no.
but not about this.
I would never want to see
No,
that.
but the idea was
Maybe like a
that...
drunk stumble, like maybe we'd be in a mud pit somewhere. I don't know. Mosh pit. brawl.
It would just be like one thing where we just take it too far and then we'll just roundhouse each
I
other.
feel like
at some
it'll be
point.
something way less than gun control.
Yeah, it'll be something.
It's gonna be something dumb as fuck.
He'll look at me. He'll look at me the wrong
you know what
way.
it would honestly be the only thing that we would fight? It would have to be A, we're drunk, and B, I beat Sam in something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, actually, I know. I'll take the blame as me being the instigator. It'd be the way you said something. It wouldn't be what you said. It'd be the way you said something. Hey, man, your beard don't look nice today. The fuck you mean by that, dude? The fuck you talking? I've been working real hard, and then I would just. That's
We've
where it
called you
happened.
Don't
every
worry.
name in the book.
I know your
But you
pressure point.
say-
I called you hideous last
Right,
week.
but you said it the right way.
What the fuck? How do you say that the right way?
Don't find out the wrong way. or
Hey,
I'll punch
no.
you.
All right,
no, hey,
stop.
time out. I said, hey,
He
2.
put 2 fingers up.
Said.
Go for it.
Now, I said 2 fingers means shut the fuck up.
I wasn't looking at you, quite frankly.
But number 1.
Yeah.
That's why I verbally said it.
All right. Don't worry, Xavier. We joking. Ain't nobody gonna put hands on you.
No, we don't do that.
Unless it keeps you watching, then I will definitely throw hands on
Yes,
everyone.
we actually will
He
do
is a
anything
whore
for
for
I will
views.
fight all of these motherfuckers.
But-
if it means.
Seriously,
away.
you know, especially considering with Mongrel Radio, we tackle all sorts of subjects, subjects like social media, from politics to anything else. But guns is a very hot and popular topic always. And so, Marco, I'm gonna let you take the lead on this because I think you were the one who came up with this one. Or?
Yeah.
Well, it was actually Sam that inspired this. But what happened is that here in Texas, I thought it had already passed, but in doing research for this topic, it has not
it's-
passed.
No, not quite yet.
No.
It probably will.
I don't think it's going to pass the way
Really?
that is scary enough for
the,
what.
the terrifying version?
The terrifying version, I
Okay.
don't think is going to pass because
Well-
it didn't make it through Texas Senate.
Well, clarify that to the people out there, what that means.
Permitless carry is going to be the thing that Sam was worried about.
and what's the difference between the scary version and the non-scary version,
Yeah,
considering
please
they're all
tell me.
scary to me?
The version that probably will pass doesn't involve handguns.
So any gun will be legal to have without a permit? Or
Actually, I said that wrong. It's gonna it will involve handguns. It won't involve AR rifles.
How do you
and stuff.
conceal a rifle?
Hey, man, you ever seen golf club bags? Boom, there you go.
You know what a
you
Mac
know
10
the you know the poster like
the mariachi is the mariachi going to be a real
I was
thing
about
now?
to say like the
really
Mac,
big pinata. Come on.
the Mac 10 you can conceal.
I don't even know what that is. You're gonna have to
It's-
pull up visual representations on that Google
Oh
in front
shit!
of you.
It's just, yeah, all right, let me do that. Right.
Did it fall asleep?
Yeah,
Whoa.
no. I mean,
is that considered a handgun?
no, that would be a AR rifle.
Okay, I would
mean that
think
would be
so.
a semi-automatic.
So
rifle.
yeah.
That sounds terrifying in all ways, shapes, or forms.
But the handgun thing was still concerning to me. Like, I still don't feel like you should have one of those without a permit or any background checks or any training or
Hey,
tests.
we'll get into that.
I'm scared, TJ. We're black. You should be terrified also.
Oh, that's an Uzi. Just say Uzi.
I'm sorry, I
Oh,
used
yeah,
the proper name.
sure.
I was like, if you said Uzi, I'd have been like the
Use the
gun.
GTA name for
Hey,
it.
yeah, come on, Marco. Like normally I'm on your side, but you gotta be real.
That's an Uzi.
Yeah.
I got to. I'm sorry. I know all the vernacular, so I have to break it down once in a
Right.
while.
And
this
you
is
did-
like
you did,
this is
yeah.
like someone who studied theoretical physics and being like, and you're talking in formulas. You got to
Well,
give
I-
us the.
see, like,
Don't even well, let's be clear before we get into this topic. I own a handgun. I own a rifle. I own a shotgun. Does anybody else own anything here?
No.
I own these.
Well, so
These are
I
the weapons
don't.
I need.
But yeah, everyone in my family, yes.
plenty of family members.
Yes.
By the way, I also
Including my
want to
grandma.
set the tone of how you described everybody in this on our Instagram post, which was
I didn't do it.
oh, that was your girlfriend
Yeah.
or Jess. Described this podcast as a coastal liberal, a military man, an artist, and a croissant eater.
Oh, damn.
I'm sorry,
That's
a crumpet eater. I'm sorry.
Oh, that's better.
You like crumpets.
That's
you do.
classy as fuck,
That's
TJ.
not fair. Like,
That is not fair.
She doesn't know where you stand, or anybody except Sam stands on guns.
that's true.
She didn't lie.
But let's just.
but is there a crumpet to gun ratio that we don't know about? Is what we're gonna find out today.
Well, we're gonna find out the people who like crumpets how they feel about guns.
Exactly. You're representing all the crumpet
Crumpet eaters.
eaters.
All right.
The American side
I
crumpet
guess
eaters.
I just have to make crumpets one day.
Please.
Please do.
I actually don't cook anything for
Look, fuck that. We should just have a straight up tea time. That'll just subvert expectation like a son of a bitch.
You will never. No, I can't do that because you'll never go back. You'll realize how relaxing and therapeutic.
All right. First guns. Second tea time.
That's
but-
it.
Guns first.
Yeah, seriously, there's no easy or clean way to approach this sort of topic. I mean, there is, right? We've already opened up the doors with a Texas-centered, there was a law that was coming into place. And so it's got us all thinking and kind of on the cusp of everything.
Freaking
So
out a little bit.
I would actually say, Sammy, why don't you kick us off? Because you probably have the most unique perspective since you're
Definitely.
born not in Texas.
Oh, not only that, and I bring this up enough times so where eventually you'll hear it again. So I'll start here. Born in Central California, Fresno, California. Not the best neighborhood. My dad was very anti-gun. He was almost drafted at Vietnam. Ended up not going in the not the projects growing up. So his idea was they want you to have a gun so that they can shoot you. That's why he was never pro-gun, never liked it. So anytime we'd say like we play with guns or we'd have no airsoft guns. First of all, that was like off limits. We couldn't have airsoft guns or BB guns. Water guns were fine. Blasters were fine. But there was nothing. We weren't allowed to have guns. I wasn't allowed to play Grand Theft Auto until the first one I played was 4. And I was in college and I bought it myself. I wasn't allowed to play those games. The games I was allowed to play were fantasy. He didn't want me shooting shit because he did not want to get drafted. And he was afraid that with a little bit of gun prowess, he knew I was going to be a big kid, that they would just pick me up and try to get me to shoot people for the government. So that's kind of where that seed was planted. I've always been very anti-gun, and then around early mid-college, I started going to the gun range. My cousin owns a gun, has one. I'm very close to him. He's like, "Let me take you out to the range." So I, fired a gun a couple times here and there. It's a fun activity. It's very enjoyable, but to me, they're toys. And I've never had to hunt for anything, so they're not a hunting tool, which you can use them as a tool in that way. That's my belief. But then the last part that bears mentioning was I was in the perimeter of the shooting at UC Santa Barbara in 2014. So the mass shooting, they killed 6 people. A dude stabbed 2 people and then shot the rest of them up. I was there for that, heard the gunshots. Same cousin, actually, who likes guns was there. Those people died. I was supposed to take my cousin to the deli that one of the kids got shot. You okay, Marcus? Just your bicep cramped on you?
Yeah.
Okay. And obviously, Marcos wasn't just trying to break the tension there. He was drinking. It just spilled all over himself. But so one of the kids died getting shot at the deli. I was supposed to take my cousin. His train was late. I would have definitely been in the line of fire if he was on time, because I was going to go take him to get shawarma. That's where you get it. So then I saw the aftermath of that, CNN, the major news people coming in, and the weird environment that created afterwards. And it was an environment that I never want anybody to experience, but mathematically you probably will one of these days. So we'll get into that and those experiences along with it, which is why I feel the way I feel, which is why in the coming moments I'll probably be yelling a lot. But Tommy, I'm going to throw it back to you.
Okay.
No, you won't.
What?
You'll be cordially having a conversation.
If we have to put in debate rules, like you have 60 seconds to respond, we will do that.
I don't give a fuck.
Everybody. Applicable to everybody.
The man has to rage. Let him rage.
I will shut it all down.
As someone who's raged many a time.
Right. He's
Yeah.
never had any rules for raging because I let
Zero.
him. All of a sudden, you guys are afraid of my rage? Why are you afraid of my white liberal rage?
Actually,
hot liberal rage?
I'm
I'm not white.
Yo, that's
I've actually talked to Tommy already off air about like, hey man, once in a while,
Yeah.
Oh, I tell them to fucking go for it, baby.
It's very confusing.
That's where the
Once
money
again,
happens.
Chill Crew likes to make sure everybody's chill over
So
here.
I just figured a balance of what both of you say.
Right.
But
You're not allowed to rage this episode. This is
No.
This
This is all you guys.
this is my
Political.
threshold.
It's only a few political episodes where I will rage, and I'll let you know ahead of time that I'm probably going to rage on this one. This one, not so much.
All right.
But no, I've had a gun pointed in my face about 3 times, like point blank.
I'm not laughing at that. It's just like, what's your gun experience? Yeah, I own guns. What's your experience? I've had it pointed at me
Many a time. Few times.
There's only one person in this room who could say that more than you.
Oh shit.
Oh yeah, true. Granted, they didn't go to school in Houston.
Yeah.
So, yeah, college in Houston's rough sometimes. But all my family lives in Houston. All 3 happen in Houston. But yeah, no, like just disgruntled people during conflicts that decided fisticuffs weren't enough. So I'm just gonna pull out that heater and yeah, just point it in my face. And first time frightened as fuck. Second time a little less so. Third time I'm like, get that shit out of my face.
Third time he grabbed the gun, put it at his forehead, said, "Do it, motherfucker, do
I
it."
dare you. Yeah, no, none of that. Slightly cautious all 3 times, but yeah, no, like I've been there. Like being in Texas, like I said, my both grandmas, God rest both their souls, they didn't get shot, but they are dead now. But they both had guns in the purse, like legit Mud Deer style. One of them really was called Mud Deer. Tyler Perry really fucked that up for all black people. Yeah,
I don't think either way there was going to be Medeas in the future.
Yeah.
they don't have them anymore. So yeah, but yeah, no. So like, my dad had a few guns. Stepdad has a gun. Aunt, uncles all have guns, and it's Texas, and it's just a way of life here, and we're just used to it. I never wanted one personally. I've never felt that in danger. I guess I moved to Austin, like the whitest city ever, so that helps somewhat. And besides the random shit that happens here, but like,
Which I will be speaking on, actually.
But yeah, no, I just never felt the need to have one. I'm not against it. I feel like there should be more.
Whoa, I didn't ask how you feel.
Oh well, I don't give a fuck.
Wait, you can
just say that to
fingers
teachers?
right now. No, I'm playing.
We can say that to each other. Did you see the way he talked to me last podcast?
Pretty sure
It's
I was
water
wild.
under the bridge, yeah. But yeah, no, like I feel that I'm okay with people having them. Living in Texas, it's hard not to feel that way because it's just been a thing for so long. And personally, like I said, besides the incidents I've had, which I'm like, those motherfuckers would have gotten guns if this was California, Nebraska, no matter where the fuck they would have had them. So I just don't. To me, as long as there are, procedures in place and things are up and up, I'm okay with it. I don't think we're at that point at the moment. I feel like we need more, stringent venting, procedures. But other than that, I don't mind people having them. They are fun. They really are.
In controlled environments.
In a controlled environment with people who have had psyche valves, preferably. Yeah, I don't mind. Fucking Marco. Hey, look, if
He's
it's an
actually going
apocalypse in any way, zombie or otherwise, I'm going to his house.
I mean, I did.
I trust this guy.
It worked out pretty well in my situation.
And I trust him because he has guns and he knows how to use them. I could get some.
Make sure you isolate that second statement you said and knows how to use them, because that's a super quintessential point for today, what we're talking about.
Yeah.
In terms of opinions and whatnot. But Marco,
Okay.
how about you, man? You are the most pro here. Let's just get that out there.
True, yeah.
I'm the most pro gun. I'm not even going to be hiding about it, but that's just because overall I have a libertarian mindset towards everything. Like, if it's abortion, go for it. If it's
Use a gun if you have to.
Stop.
No.
There was a dark joke.
Preferably
There was a dark joke. But yeah, all right,
that joke was-
I stopped.
That joke was already dark enough.
It could go. Yeah, never mind. Euthanasia, whatever. Guns is just. It's so hard because I come from it from a logical standpoint as well. With the Second Amendment, it's just hard to get around it. Like, the honest to God of where my beef with a lot of gun control laws is most of it is just virtue signaling, and it's not going to stop anything. I think the 3 main laws that Biden just talked about a month ago wouldn't have done anything to the Parkland shooter. And then when it comes to the Texas law, I actually think it goes too far. I don't think that permitless. I think that permitless is a really bad idea. I think there needs to be some sort of standard. But the overall thing is that, I mean, the genie's out of the bottle when it comes to Texas, sadly. Like, when it comes to most people get guns at gun shows, and we don't... Right now, if you made all guns illegal, we don't know what's out there. There is no gun registry.
And,
True.
And
I feel before you... I'm sorry, TJ. Like, before you even say... I feel like that's a point people do not think about or realize, like, what's already floating the fuck out there? Like, even if you cut the shit off today, like, the shit that's already circulating is going to cause damage. So, yeah. Go ahead, TJ. I'm sorry.
No, continue on, Marco.
No, you can go. I mean, this is going to circle back to Sam after this, just because, I mean, obviously he's on the other way, and then we're going to start a discussion.
Yeah.
But, I mean, you just go ahead and give your thoughts.
How do you feel about it?
So I'm probably the, I want to say it's weird, somewhere in between neutral and pro,
Yeah.
right? A little closer to where you're at, Tommy. To me, I personally haven't had any experiences with like a gun being pointed at me or a scenario where a gun is in play. A lot of the things with Austin, right? I've gotten into plenty of altercations here. I was a bouncer, bartender, fought homeless.
He beat up many a hobo.
And never had an instance where a gun was involved. And I don't think those are instances where they should be involved.
Right.
But it hits a little closer now, and this is really prevalent just because Austin normally has never really been a place where there's been a lot of gun violence. Pretty neutral. It's actually pretty damn safe here, honestly.
Yeah.
But there was a road rage incident out in Riverside yesterday. Shit you not, my girlfriend's apartment complex had a gun incident last night. Not even kidding you. She called me about it around midnight. Somebody shot up something. No one's hurt, but car with gun bullets in there. And so, as it's inching closer and closer to, and she doesn't live in Riverside. She lives Southside, like not in a bad neighborhood, just straight up like.
Oh yeah, it does. That's the thing. It doesn't matter here because it was an incident a few weeks ago.
3 weeks ago?
Like up north side.
About a month ago.
Yeah, with the guy who killed his daughter, daughter, ex-wife, and the daughter's boyfriend. That was right up the road from where I live.
But
that's a good ass. It's the Arboretum.
Yeah, that's a little unique of a scenario because he was
that's what you usually see. Yeah,
he was a sheriff, like
ex-sheriff. Yeah,
like ex-cop, like a bunch of stuff that kind of put his stacks around there, right? But my whole feeling is I'm not antsy against it because I do think there's scenarios where everybody wants to have a level of protection whenever someone enters your home,
right.
Things of that nature. I totally support that. But I'm also in the camp to where I just don't I'm super big on the regulations and the rationale and the difficulty that there needs to be to obtain one. Mm-hmm. And I just don't think those levels have been met. And and the baseline level is before people are like, well, we should have confidence in these standard level things. We don't even have our mental health shit in check.
Exactly.
So
that's my biggest thing. Yeah.
So if we don't have our mental health shit in check, there's no way in hell that people there should be looser things on guns until all of those aspects are put into place. But ultimately, if someone's like, yo, I have a gun, I have this and that, I'm like, yo, it's whatever. It doesn't really affect me. It's Texas, shit,
yeah.
My uncle straight up was like,
it's
I have
harder to find someone who doesn't have a gun in this motherfucker.
My uncle deadass was like, I have a red dot, but he kept it in a box. It was in his house. There was I was like, okay, I get it. Lives in Dallas, I understand. And so I'm a little bit more understanding of the ownership process. There's probably going to be a time where I'm going to have to own one down the line. I don't know, because if Austin keeps acting crazy,
you might have to
keep one in the crib. But it doesn't really. I'm not negative against it. Not super no, nothing. Because I'm also at the point where I'm like, even if we were to do everything in our power to eliminate them right now, it's too far gone. So that is a real tough possibility.
Yeah.
And we can't even get the same page about niggas putting on a mask, let alone giving up guns. So not much you can do on that scenario.
Very true.
I'm only going to add one thing real quick. So I didn't get a handgun until COVID happened.
Really?
Yeah.
That's surprising.
That's really cool.
Because I'm a hobby shooter. The most fun hunting is bird hunting, which is a shotgun.
Yeah.
So, and then I have a deer rifle, but I didn't get a handgun until COVID because it was like, it was just hope for the best, prepare for the worst. And it was like, dudes are going to be losing jobs. And if dudes lose jobs,
Desperation leads to,
yeah.
I mean, it's one of those things where it's like, and you know, you live with your girl. Like, there's a lot. Like, I mean, because, hey, if people want to roll up on me, they're going to come into my crib and be like, hey, oh, there's a single black dude living here. He ain't got shit. Take off. Like, I don't keep enough shit in my crib to where, like, and if they want to rob me, I'm sorry, dog. I have debit cards. You don't know my PIN, so I
can cancel them shits immediately.
I'll with my dying breath, I'll make a call to the bank, and be like, "Fuck this nigga, cancel my shit."
I actually know criminals that are like, "Yeah, just run it as credit."
That's true.
Show motherfucker my credit score. I'm not bothering with this.
He took a whole $78.
You get a normal debit card, you can run it as credit.
You can run it as credit.
Oh yeah.
But see, that's why y'all guys got to be homies with y'all financial advisors at y'all banks, because my shit can't do that. It gets canceled automatically.
Nice.
But you know, seeing as though we float through various different layers in terms of our exposure and influence when it comes to, you know, sort of gun procedures and gun laws, let's just start with like the fundamental thing of how do we even address, like, do you believe there's an issue? Do you believe that there's areas that we need to address? And how do you think we can go about those sorts of things?
Well, my thing is,
go ahead and kick us off, Tommy.
There's a mass shooting every goddamn 2 weeks, actually less than that, then yeah, it's a fucking problem. And it is a problem in this country. And yeah, my whole thing is mental health is probably the key to it, more so than I think anything. I think if mental evaluation became a part of the process, that might help quite a bit.
I think in any sort of if mental evaluations and mental health was taken way more seriously in all aspects of our government and
society would be better just in general.
Like, it would just be a healthier environment. Yes. But I agree. Continue.
I have, well, never mind. You finish your thought and then I'll say mine.
Yeah, but no, I think it's a huge problem. And the fact that they want to just have people walking around with fucking handguns without, you know, just do you even have to show an ID for this law, Marco?
No, it's permitless.
God damn. Okay, so hey.
It's permitless, yeah.
I can roll up, get milk and a handgun.
There's still certain rules that I think will apply, like you can't, like, walk into a bar with it and stuff like that.
But
that's not a lot, because I can stand outside the bar.
But also,
it enables.
Yeah.
And you think that bars are checking like that?
Yeah, do you think bars are going to have metal detectors and have somebody pat people down?
Let me put it this way. If you're a non-Texan person, this is something that surprised me being an outsider. There are signs at bars or certain locations that says, because we make, I think you make more than 20% of your income with alcohol or liquor, that we're not allowed to have handguns in the location. That sign's all over a lot of different places. I'd never seen it before. I'm used to it now, but I'd never seen it before in my life.
It sounds like you were as jarred as if you saw a colored only's entrance.
It was different, because I just was like, okay, so the assumption is that everyone has a gun, and the assumption is you got to leave it in your car, put it, or not bring it, and not bring it.
Yeah.
Whereas California, it's like we can assume that certain areas have guns, certain areas have violence, but we don't assume that everyone has one. So seeing that, where it's like, oh, this is a policy that we have to put on, like the fucking Better Business Bureau food grade rating and shit like that, it was jarring to say the least, but something that they could still apply to this, even if they do have concealed carry, free, whatever.
I'm gonna piss in your Cheerios a little bit, Sammy.
Of course you are.
California is not exactly not known for violence,
as in they are known
the
for
gun
violence.
persuasion.
as in they're super known for like gang violence,
Right.
so on and so forth.
Right.
Now, I don't know if that's just a perception that the media puts out there, or if that's an actual reality.
Well, you grew up in the
California.
roughs, so that's what you got to start
Boys
your
in the
life.
Hood, Minister
Yeah,
Society,
so just for your media bias perception of California is, if you're roughly around the ages of 28, 27 to 35 or 40, you got a whole dose of gangster rap, and you think all of it's violence and stuff like that. And there is some truth to that. Hell, Fresno's pretty violent in its own right. Where I'm from, Stockton's Central Valley still, which is why my method of fixing all this mental health is great. I'm not going to say anything against it. Clearly, I've been a mental health advocate. I think you got to go one step further, and this is why this issue is so difficult for me to wrap my head around without getting upset, because the things that actually need to get done will never get done. what do you need a gun for when you think about those gang member kids? When you think about the violence and what you perceive as California gang violence,
Crazy white people.
No, or crazy white people. So you guys are addressing crazy white people. They have something wrong with them. They shoot up a school. Mental health checks could limit and or sift through some of that.
Right.
But what about black kid who's hungry, has to sell dope, and needs to protect himself while he's selling dope? So he has to have a gun.
Right.
And then there's other people who are hungry that want his dope, so they're going to steal his dope, so they have a gun to shoot him.
Dog eat dog. Yeah.
Right. And you can say that about Baltimore. You can say that about a bunch of different cities. It's these people are living in poverty. They got no other option, at least, or at the very least, they think they have no option for it. They have no example for it. They don't have the services to help them get out of them. They don't got no after-school programs. They don't have a good education system, and they're hungry. You can't do anything. You can't teach anybody anything. You can't benefit anybody if kids are fucking hungry. So feed them first. That sounds insane. Sounds like it has nothing to do with guns. But feed the kids. Feed families. Make sure that they're fed. If you can, make sure that they're housed. Ideally, everyone's fed and housed. And then give them opportunity. If you get those things in order for most anybody, you can cut a lot of, strangely enough, gun violence down. If you're talking about inner city gun violence, which would be my loose experience with it.
Yeah.
And once you get rid of that need to defend yourself or to antagonize somebody to get something that they have because you're without, then you can cut a good chunk of that out. Then you can start fixing the culture. Then you can start investing into proper things. Then you can start making that transition. But until then, people are going to want guns, and they're going to need them to protect the goddamn selves because they're in a war zone, because nobody's funding their shit, nobody's supporting them in any way, and nobody's teaching them anything. And even if they were teaching things, they couldn't learn it because their stomachs are rumbling. So that's where we start in my head. And then you go on to mental health screenings, and then you get into access and all this stuff we'll get into in a little bit. If we don't, I'll mention it. But that's where I want to start.
Okay. So one of my let's talk first. I'm going to go to your point, and I'll go to your point.
Okay.
Mental health screenings, great idea. It's impossible. The guy that shot up the Orlando nightclub was literally working for TSA. He passed so many screenings.
Yeah.
Every time one of these mass shooters, it's something that it's like something just snaps, and I don't know. I'm not in tune with staying angry for 2 weeks, but these dudes do it.
I mean, that's just a psychology thing. Like it, yeah. I mean, it's gonna be people who, they're gonna slip through the cracks no matter what. Yeah.
And another topic for another time, but online communities as well are conducive of these types of things, holding on to anger and violence.
I mean, that's right, and I don't know. Because you get to a point where they're over-policing, where if somebody posts a controversial meme, like saying Mitch McConnell doesn't deserve to have his head.
I'm saying it looks too attached to his body. I didn't say he didn't deserve to have it. Just saying it looks too attached to his body for my liking.
That's where red flag laws come from. And do they go too far? Do they go not far enough? And then that's a gray area.
Well,
that's a whole nother subject.
But to the understanding of everybody, I am the character of the Mexcellence on this podcast. Therefore, this is a character.
I didn't say you said it.
I'm just saying I'm a character on this podcast to remind people, if they ever find a clip of somebody saying that, they may be portraying a character of themselves or a caricature. And scene.
Nigga, you are representing that caricature. That don't matter to the internet. Look, you think someone go be like, hey, yo, TJ's authentically himself all the time, right? But even if I was acting up some type of way, hey, shoot, I could say my character's a white man. Therefore, every time I say nigga, I should be flagged for it. That don't change shit.
Probably
all
should.
Right?
I mean, the fact that you eat crumpets is like your favorite food, and you say the N-word, that's a little suspect.
Hey, man.
That's a little
Golly
sus.
gee, leave him alone.
Golly gee, that was where some people had it. They wouldn't let you say the N-word or golly gee in the same
Just let me
paragraph.
live, baby.
Point being, I get it, but like, it's whatever. It's jokes.
No,
it's like whatever.
I understand that perspective, but continue on, Marco.
Well, it's just most of these mass shooters would have passed mental health screenings. That's just the sad
It's not a surprise.
Yeah. And then when it comes to Sammy's idea, this is an idea that becomes really prevalent when it comes to minority gun rights activists, where it's just like he is completely right about the atmosphere that a lot of people have to grow. And this is the only good thing about permitless gun carry. is that it's really expensive to get that permit. It's about $300 to $500 that you might not have when the handgun itself costs $300 to $500 and you're working at McDonald's.
Right.
So growing up in that neighborhood, you can't count on the police, for one.
Definitely can't. You'll get killed yourself. It's been plenty of cases where a black person's called the cops and they ended up ones getting shot. So yeah.
Exactly. So the only protection that you have going home, working, trying to be an average good model citizen is buying a handgun and protecting yourself.
Yeah. Getting the permit, getting all the things you need to legally have it and obtain it. Yeah.
But that's
yeah, go ahead.
sort of, I can't, it's the same thing with anything else. That's kind of that's where I get a little tricky with it, right? Because I'm like, I can't play PC games if I am not willing to spend extra money to get that PC. It's just par for the course, right? And I understand circumstances and scenarios, and fundamentally, I mean, if you really want to know, like, my source of really antagonistic, any sort of antagonism I have towards guns is for more than just, the societal opinion on them. It's fundamentally that the laws that enable the guns to be owned in America were not made for people who have any sort of melanin in their bloodstream.
If any, I'm so glad you really just led me, because I was about to make that point.
Right,
next.
Because-
and I have other points.
Yeah.
Because I'm telling you right now, literally,
The reason white people buy guns is because they think niggas are coming after them.
That's
Plain and fucking simple. That's what it is. That's why you see all these fucking right-wing, conservatives talk about gun control. That is the driving force. The niggas will wall out one day and we have to put them down. That's what it is. Plain and simple. I wish people would just say that more. Be honest, people. Like, goddamn, you hate niggas? Say it. Goddamn it. That's what it is. Racism drives a big fucking force in the whole gun debate as it is.
that's what I'm saying. Like,
Yeah.
literally, there is, if you happen to suffer from the disease known as melanin deficiency,
Yeah.
you are more likely to have these laws be applicable to you.
Right.
Because fundamentally, the right to bear arms was to fight a gun. I mean, to fight a government that repped them.
Yeah.
It did not rep us at that certain
Zero.
sort of time. And I'm not...
Still doesn't.
Still doesn't really in some
ways,
cases.
yeah.
And I'm not saying that it's like a band-aid sort of statement in terms of, laws adapt, things and scenarios change. And there's a lot of sort of perspectives that we can take upon this approach. But at a fundamental level, like, if you think about things that are... If you want to point out systemic racism in a lot of other areas, I will point it out in real estate. I'll point it out in finance. I'll point it out in
You can
every
point it
other.
out anywhere.
So I don't
In every
understand
aspect of
why
society.
that also. But guns, it's even more so prevalent.
Yeah.
Because the reason why. All that.
You're the most triggered of anyone right now.
Yeah, I'm,
No,
You need a
'cause I was
finger or
going to get
two.
to this. And
no, I'm not triggered. I'm not getting.
Hyped is probably
Yeah,
the better word.
I'm hyped because I'm like,
passionate.
because a lot of people will be willing to throw out a lot of different sort of, hey, you can go get one. You can go do you can go do this, X, Y, and Z. Look, I promise you, in terms of finances, my legal background, my mental state, any sort of checks you want to put me through, I'll have no trouble getting a gun. If I want one tomorrow, if I want to go through that process, I'll go do it. I'll begin it, get it, be okay.
It's pretty easy.
Semicolon, however, comma.
Go to a
I have a
gun show
gun.
and try to buy
Yeah.
a gun.
If I have a gun, you see this. Luckily, what was it? Senior Two Shoes,
Two phones.
Two Phones, right? Senior Two Phones commented on it. Yes, all this big black jacked up sexiness.
You
over
didn't say
here.
all that. Damn, dude.
Hey,
You didn't
man,
say
I took
all
it.
that.
It's in the subtext.
It's in the
Confident,
subtext.
let 'em go.
But all that.
Long, strong, about to get the friction. I know all the things he was saying.
Jokes aside, all
Rick
that
James.
is not seen by everybody, right? You're gonna deem me as an African American, big black dude who has
With
a
a
gun
gun.
on him, who might be if I have it driving in my car,
Wearing
that might
all
get
black.
me shot.
Who beats his girlfriend?
Who once again, apparently, if a cop shows up at my place, had my neighbor even called the cops on me, was like, hey, I think this person's beating his girlfriend.
I think.
Which is the thing that happened. If you guys were watching the shows consecutively,
No, I didn't beat my girl. That was not the thing that happened.
No. The person calling the
But
cops on
a person called in thinking that he was beating his girlfriend because he was
Just
cussing at video games.
Because
because she's white.
She was just
cussing at video games.
she was cussing at video games.
and she's white.
And she's
That
white.
was
So
it.
so
Yeah.
and so I'm saying, like, you know, I tell them, hey man, I'm chilling, I'm chillaxing with my girl, nothing happened. They want to say, oh cool, we want to do a check, we want to do something, we want to do a wellness, whatever. Find a gun in there, I'm donezo chunzo, I'm another statistic. And so what I'm saying,
Permit or no permit.
and you might, and there's so many layers that go towards this. But ultimately, all that said, you know, let's leave. I can even remove that from the equation. That still doesn't change the fundamental issue of. And I get what you're saying, Marco, where it's like, and I totally get what you're saying too, where it's like, yo, like mental health checks. There's a limitation. Like if somebody is like, if someone really wants one, they gonna get one.
Yeah.
But why isn't that process high? And that doesn't change the fact that the process should still be hell and high water to get access to it. Because anybody who's like you, who's like me, should still have no troubles. If it's a pain in the ass to do a hobby, boom.
It's a coarse sieve. They sift. You get some of the bigger boulders out of there that shouldn't have been made in the first place. It's not saying it's a perfect system. It's just another layer.
Yeah.
And bigger and you know, it's a bigger one, and
Add
then
it
you
to
get
the
finer
filter.
and finer and finer until the people who should, and that's the thing defined by Second Amendment. Everyone gets one, but people that would be responsible more than likely.
That's what I'm saying.
All you're trying to do is make that responsible gun ownership number trend upward.
Literally, it's just about because with mental health and timeout. Yes, Key, I also fear for her safety too, man. She's not even here, and I'm scared for her. I don't know, but no,
Get her a gun.
Get her 3 guns. Why not?
But in the cases of like and I know that it's not all applicable, right? Like I'm the same way with Tommy. Marcos, if he says he has 15 guns, I don't bat an eye. But that's because I know him. And I know his background. I know his experience. I know all those aspects about him.
Yeah.
I have to hope that he gets worried if I'm like, I got an AR-15, guys. Woo! Because I don't know what
I'm
the
sure
fuck to do
we'll
with
get
that
to.
thing.
No
think-
one should have.
I think all of you guys would cry if I said I got a gun.
I wouldn't cry. I would just be
You would
more
all
worried.
panic. You would all be like, "Why did you get a gun?"
I
not.
wouldn't panic.
We wouldn't.
I'd be like,
bat
what
an eye.
type of gun? Because if it's a handgun, then I'd be worried. I'm like, what you doing, buddy? But if it's like a shotgun, I'd be like,
No,
oh, he's going
I'm
hunting.
talking handgun.
Yeah,
You'd be like,
he's going hunting.
Like, welcome to Texas. I mean,
But no, seriously, like it's one of those things where and you know, I'm gonna pass the mic in a second, but I'm like, where I get it. There's layers to it, but the process itself should still be a turnoff from access, right?
yeah.
It should be one of those things where it's like,
Someone looks at it like,
gotta-
I'm not even gonna bother.
like literally, like you got to be like, damn, that's kind of tricky. All right, well, all right, like you know, it's a hobby of mine. It's
Right.
something I need. It's for if you really care about your protection that much, then you'll go through those sorts of processes and checks and things of that nature.
Money, whatever you have.
Because and it has to be built in because it's a lot more unrealistic. But I'd even say if it gets to that point, it might have to be where we have to have metal detectors in half the places where people are walking in order to sort that shit out.
Yeah.
Now,
That was my whole thing. Like, you want to have concealed where anybody can have one, so you're going to have metal detectors at bars and shit, or you just, are bouncers going to pat you down?
like literally,
Make sure?
like all the other processes, if you want to make it be free as a bee, you're going to have to make every single fucking place,
H-E-B, McDonald's.
everywhere you
Yeah.
go, be a sort of access point to where it's like, cool, now this shit just gets delayed another 15, 20 minutes. If I'm trying to go in the club, I see a hot girl, I'm like, hey girl, I'll be in there in 30. I gotta get pat down,
Right.
do my drug test, gotta do my dance
Gotta go
revolution,
to the metal
active, like,
detector
I
a couple
gotta do
times.
work.
I got metal on, so just be patient.
Hey, be patient, girl.
Yeah, right.
Hey, you still looking fine. My drunkenness from the pregame would be hung up by the time I get inside
Or the
the
bar
club.
before.
Right.
So I'm like, because it's a hard struggle. There's no right answer.
Oh, no, it's
but I
gray
still
as
think
fuck.
the process
Yeah.
is so simple, easy, and in the scenario where you're saying, right, where it's impoverished and you know this is a hustle and survival sort of mentality. Number one, I got nothing but agreement towards what you're saying in terms of like, yeah, like fundamentally that's an issue.
Right.
But there's poverty. But my problem is it's also on my. If you guys have ever listened to me saying on a podcast, I say America is one of the most immature countries
Oh, absolutely.
ever, right?
Hands
Because there's
down.
poverty every fucking where.
Right. But then you add the culture that Texas has of everyone needs a gun, and all of a sudden everyone's their own sheriff, and everyone's right, and everyone's standing their ground, and everyone has the right to shoot everybody. And that was the point I wanted I wanted to counter though against him, who's saying if you live in a bad neighborhood and the cops don't come and save you, then you have to protect your own goddamn self. Fine, do it. Make a well-regulated militia like the Constitution says. Well-regulated. Regulate the people. Regulate the guns. Fucking deputize people. Make your own. If the cops don't come to where you come, but don't just say you're on your fucking own, stranger. Everyone gets a gun, idiot or not, woman or man, child. Everyone gets one. That's not a solution. That's the Wild West. Wild West, you shoot someone for being a coward, then you scoot them off because the sheriff wasn't there. That's not a reality that we can live in anymore. That's not real, and that's not something that is civilized life.
Now,
it's not civilized life.
I'm just going to chime in and say that, unfortunately, I actually am a fan of the Wild West. And if I could be a sheriff...
live through that shit.
They didn't allow you guys in the saloon. Shut the fuck up.
If I can have spurs on my feet and be like, well, Sammy. Seems as though you've ended back into my office
Oh,
here.
they call me a bandito and tell me to go the fuck back to Mexico. Oh, wait, they do that already here. Arizona more so. But
Yeah,
it hasn't happened in Austin.
Ironically.
I'm pretty sure there's a lot of... like, I said, who's rolled up on...
miles out, they'll tell you.
I was about to say, like, it is unfortunate, but it is the reality of where we live now.
No, but no, the reality is that's the reality in the brain of a Texan. There's other ways. There's other things.
Granted, we are 4 states in one.
Right. No, but the thing is that
We're kinda like our own
Texas,
country.
you guys can't see past your own upbringing.
We're big as fuck, man.
No, listen to what I'm saying though. I'm not arguing about Texas, whatever. Texas does have its own culture. Y'all fucking pledge allegiance to your own flag for fuck's sake. Okay, it's different. I'm not saying it's bad. I'm saying it's different.
I actually wasn't allowed to pledge allegiance to the flag.
Fair enough. That's good. I knew your upbringing. But to be fair, it is a different mentality that the state has. It's in your culture. It's in your blood. And there's no separating it. And there's no way that you're able to even have this conversation without it separating from it. So I just want you guys to recognize that.
Oh, I totally did.
So here's the reality of it.
Okay.
2 mass shooters
reality.
in Texas. Yeah, Parkland, an armed civilian stopped him. When the dude rolled up in Dallas, an armed civilian stopped him. California just creates a soft target with their A+ gun laws, and we end up with March 12, 2004, Fresno, 9 dead. Galeto, January 30th, 2006, 8 dead. Covina, December 28th, 2008, 10th dead. Like, this list goes on for like 2 pages.
We kind of suck in a lot of areas, but mass shootings isn't the reg. Like,
Surprisingly, yeah.
like one-offs are bad, and I'm not saying I disagree with you. Like, I'm from country ass Texas. I get that notion, but number one, first of all, being able to recognize that and having a fluid conversation about it, and me being like, yeah, I still don't agree with half the gun shit that we got going on here, is still acceptable.
Right. But the thing is, I could pull out numbers too of Texas having shootings just the same.
Not that many, because we don't create soft targets here.
No, but they still shoot fucking. It still happens. It happens
It does
everywhere.
happen.
I'm just saying, but I can say list of 5, 6, 7, 8, whatever. I can
But you
do
didn't,
that
because you didn't.
I didn't have the
do
fucking
research.
paper.
You can do research just like we all do.
Well, I didn't come to this with fucking paperwork to prove California wrong or Texas wrong. Everyone knows Texas is fucked up when you look in. We know that in a lot of different ways, guns included. And the thing is that
We're not
Texas
here to have a
dictates
cultural argument.
Texas dictates the conversation when it comes to guns. A lot of the times, they're the ones where everyone says everyone's allowed to have a gun here in Texas. Everyone's safe here when they're not. It's a fake narrative that's super popular that everyone is safe. And you guys all believe it. You guys all believe you're safe, and you're not.
I don't
because
believe
all
I'm
it's
safe at all.
No, but
you
if
talking
you
about?
have a gun, if you have a gun,
I still don't feel safe.
right.
I'd feel safer.
Well, you know how to use it.
Right, no, but that's the argument that Texas tends to make, which is if everyone has a gun, everyone is safe.
Dumbass argument.
Right, it is a dumbass argument, but that's where all of it comes from.
So then so here's my problem with that statement right there. We already identify that is an asinine statement. So don't throw us into a grouping or category where we agree with that statement just because we're born here. That's not cool.
Right, but I have the luxury of having friends that are college educated, smart dudes.
Of course.
Right.
That's us.
That's us.
Yes.
That's us. Right. And how many people don't think that way? A lot of the voting public here. A A lot of people that aren't in
It's a
Austin.
lot of red.
A lot of the people that aren't in the major cities. And we don't go there because you get shot, you might pass, and I get shot.
Yeah, he'll be fine.
I can't go 20 minutes outside the city without seeing Trump stuff still, in any direction.
Every time I go to LaGrange.
Go
Right.
south. You'll be fine. San Marcos will be all right.
Right.
Yeah.
But but 3 out of 4 directions not a good look, even for the most liberal city in Texas.
You'll still be fine. That's
The
like,
fact that
you'll find a
the
Buc-ee's.
fact that I'm not allowed in certain areas is not good.
Yeah.
And me having
I don't
having
think
a
that's
gun,
the case
but me
anymore.
having a gun doesn't solve it.
Yeah,
Him having a gun
It totally
doesn't
is.
solve it.
Him having
having
in some places.
Him having a gun doesn't solve it, because even if it was an equal playing ground, or maybe if it was an equal playing ground, it might be real. It might be something that we can actually agree on. It might be policy that might be successful. But because the darkness of our skins and the attitudes of the police and the attitudes of the general population, that utopia is never going to exist in that same way that California creates a soft target by wishing guns away and making no gun zones. I get that. I get that people see it and like, that's dumb. Because I grew up, no guns allowed, 100 feet in front of every school I went to. And there were still lockdowns every other, maybe about twice a year. There'd be a lockdown, maybe once a year. Some kid.
Yeah, twice a year. One was a test. The other one was real.
One was a test, one was real. Yeah. No, there was one guy that was right down the way. He had a Tech 9, was shooting boom, 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 like fucking crazy. But because it doesn't work for everybody, then there's no uniform argument for gun control, because it doesn't work for everybody the same way. There's so many sub-genres and sub-problems that happen culturally, racially, all that stuff, that gun owners aren't a monolith. And when we think of gun owners, we're thinking of white gun owners. Let's be real here.
With guns for one reason
with
and one
guns for
reason
one reason
only.
only.
But this is a podcast that skews towards minorities.
Right. And so
we
that,
are all minorities here.
right. And so
And I am very big on saying that every minority should probably have a gun.
And then it actually get critically looked at.
have what get critical.
Shit, if a mass majority of minorities were to actually not be on if the educated or more passive ones were like, who are like me and Tommy, who are like, yeah, we get guns, but we're kind of neutral. Or if more individuals who are very anti-gun, like in my family, who's like, yo, or my mom's side of the family, who's like, there's no need, religion, like a lot of just, hey, like faith, things of that nature. But if a lot of minorities were to step up and get these sort of weaponry, if there was a mass number, an increase, there'd be a
some nice
lot more
stats that would
changes.
come out. Yeah, right.
See, no, and I would think the more that we get them, the more we get fucking picked off like flies, because they have a reason to kill us.
Yo, oh no. And see,
Because if I have a
honestly,
gun, let me finish the
Okay.
point. If I have a gun with my Mexamuzla, Philip, whatever face this is,
real
Indian,
ambiguous. Yeah. Yeah.
They don't care if I have a license. They don't care that I have a degree. They don't care that I pay my taxes. They don't fucking care. They being racist, crazy people,
Neighbors.
outstanding citizens,
Upstanding, yeah.
citizens, fucking black folk, Asian folk that might be mad or something, Jewish guys, Muslim guys. They might be like, ah, fuck that guy.
And you'll be
He's a target.
you will be a fucking footnote in an article.
Right.
That, oh, crap.
Or worse,
Big Mexican guy had
or
a
worse,
gun.
they don't look like they're little cholito guys. Just can't grow in his beard. Just looks like a cholo. Because culturally, that's just what the look is.
Can't whip
Doesn't
him.
gangbang, doesn't tag. But he just looks like him to fit in, to survive his bad neighborhood. And he gets mowed down because he had a gun or whatever, or didn't have a gun. It doesn't matter. We're sitting ducks, and you'd have to convince everyone to get it all at once. And all that would do is scare the people in charge to be like, oh, that's why we should have more guns. They're not going to start regulating it. Yeah, I get the Black Panthers. They did it. The NRA tried to regulate it at that time.
I don't believe that they will be like,
I think-
yes, woo. They will definitely regulate, Sammy.
But
in
in a way that's only for us.
hell.
In a way that'd only be for black
look.
or Mexican.
Hey, let's just be fucking. They want to stop us from fucking voting. You don't
Yeah.
think if that shit became, they did the handgun shit here in Texas? Oh, that don't apply to us.
Right.
At the fuck all.
They would say,
no, I
Here's
agree.
Here's the plus, though. Here's the thing. You're right and you're right. If we did that shit, yeah, the statistics of, all these minorities who own guns, the violence within them, very low. Just minute. doesn't fucking matter because it does. If you was it
Philando Castile, I think.
Philando Castile, yeah,
Or Ahmad, I forget.
No, it's
one
definitely
Philando.
Yeah, registered gun owner.
Registered gun owner.
Didn't fucking matter.
No, that's what I'm
And
saying.
that's what it is. A part of me thinks that this whole law is just for that. Okay, a bunch of them gonna get guns so we can put them down even easier. That's what the fuck I think. In Texas, that's what I think that law is for. That's why I think the law is bullshit. It's because of that. Goddamn, they used fucking Jim Crow terms in the voting law they just passed in this bitch. That was the purity of the vote, which was something.
That wasn't Texas. That was Georgia.
It don't matter.
No, it was Texas.
But it's everywhere.
Yeah,
It don't matter. It's next door.
That's what we are now with this group. This is what they want. So yeah, a bunch of black people get guns. Yeah, we can put them down. He had a gun. People will move the fuck on and not give a shit.
And lastly, to that point, just I want a little tag. Do you think the cops would be able to switch their mentality from seeing a concealed gun and not shooting or not responding as if it were a gun that shouldn't be there? Whatever they deem shouldn't be
They
there.
put out a statement that says they don't want this
let's
law.
not get the cops.
No,
in here,
but-
man. That's a different
but-
topic.
but-
They factor into this shit.
No,
man.
but that's
They
part. No,
do.
but realistically,
That's not fair.
that part. No, but that's part of their job.
No, 100%.
Their part of their job is to neutralize, hopefully, active threats, right? And like you guys say, if they come up to a place and they have to assess a threat, they're gonna shoot whoever has a gun. And
no, Sam, they're gonna shoot regardless.
Right.
If they find a gun, it's over. Okay, cool. He had a gun. We'll move on. That's
so
what it
just let me
is.
finish the sentence. So we're now putting them in a bad spot. Not like I'm an advocate for cops all the time, but we're putting them in a bad spot. Now they have to make a decision about who's the good guy, who's the bad guy. And bias, human bias,
It's already a problem.
tells us that they're going to shoot darker just on bias. Or if they're good, then they shoot the right person. And fate,
Counterstatement.
Yeah, go ahead, Michael.
Kenneth Walker. Do you know
makes
who
a
that
great
is?
whiskey.
No, that's John. Do you know who Kenneth Walker is?
No, explain.
You'll know the name that he's connected to. Breonna Taylor.
Okay.
Shot at the police. And as far as it is concerned, he's A, still alive today. B, shot at the police because someone was breaking into his house. And the only people that defended him was the gun lobby. So it's not down to race. I'm never
His
going to...
girlfriend got shot the fuck up.
Yes, but this isn't about her. This is about...
But no, that's a part of it. Him shooting back at them, I mean, like they needed a reason any fucking way. They probably would have done the same, but still,
it's just
he
the overall
realized he got
thing.
in trouble for that and
Yes.
just got off of that shit.
Yes, he barely got off,
Yeah.
but he got off on gun lobby dollars.
True.
They did help back him up.
That is true.
He is a person of color, obviously. And he did exactly everything that Sam was saying, and he's still alive.
But his
skin of his
girlfriend
teeth.
isn't.
His girlfriend isn't, and that is a tragedy. But the point is the person with the handgun is still alive.
No, so okay. So pause before you get crunk. All right. So Marco, I get your logic, but inherently the impetus of that was the girlfriend getting shot at. No matter where you frame that at, no matter what court you're going to, they're going to leverage that the person that he was trying to protect got shot up. The fact that that even has to be in the lair is it contributed in some way, shape, or form to how he was able to barely get off.
Barely.
So like, I get that impetus. Like, he's cool for the person owning the gun. Like, that's fine. But this is a different conversation if she was still alive and she's Gucci. Because then it'd be like, cool, she's alive, she's good, and he got off.
Yeah.
Okay, that's a real law right
They didn't
there.
have a warrant, right? Either.
They
was the wrong
had a
house.
knockless
Wrong
warrant.
house.
It's the wrong house, yeah.
But it was the wrong house.
No. It was the
No.
right house because they...
But
Well,
it
I
was
thought-
some old bullshit that probably didn't need that level of antagonism.
No, but this goes back to probably something we should have talked about in the police episode, that police raids are dumb, and I'm against knockless raids.
Right.
But
Yeah.
that being said, yes, it is. We're still in a case right now in 2021, where we're barely getting off. But we are hopefully seeing the tipping point. Between this and Derek Chauvin, it's like history's gears are turning a little bit. It's up to us, which is why we do this podcast, to keep them turning.
Right.
This
but
is us catching the check of life, liberty, and pursuit of happiness
But there's
and that includes the Second
But
Amendment.
there's a lot of money that doesn't want those gears to turn.
And
Shitload of money. That doesn't want
this
those gears.
podcast is on a low budget and or no
They
budget.
will-
So if you'd like to sponsor the Mexcellence, you can always donate. You can donate down
okay,
below.
yeah,
You
don't
can
listen to him. But
I'm just saying. I'm just realistically though, as Tommy mentioned, there's people legitimately wanting to take all of that away.
Yeah.
So and they already have
Powerful
guns.
people.
And they already have guns. And they already have the rules in place where if I were to have one, they could shoot me.
It's the system that's already in place,
Right.
man. And it's just like, I have to put an emphasis on right the fuck now. I wanted to do a topic of the GOP, the state of the GOP right now, because they're doing wild, crazy 1930s type shit, boldly, not giving a fuck in the name of Trump, all that bullshit. And race is a big part of it. I read an article, did the research on the article, make sure it was verified. So Democrats wanted to be a big emphasis for police departments to do background checks to make sure that the people that are applying are not white supremacists. Guess who's pushing back on that shit? Wild guess, Republicans. That kind of shit. It's so obvious and so brazen now. Like I said, with this gun law, to me, some people might see it like, oh, it's going to be the Wild West. More gun freedom. I'm seeing, no, this to me, personally, it's for one goddamn reason. Let's just skim the herd. Let's slim them down. This is an easy way to fucking do it. Let's do it that way. That way, when a policeman shoots a motherfucker for no logical reason, shoots a TJ or a Tommy, motherfuckers who aren't troublesome in any way, oh, they had a gun.
Yep.
End of story.
And I also think that, building off of those points, right? It's real tricky to, because guns are just so it's ridiculous how simple some solutions and some routes can be.
Yeah.
And Marco, I love you, but that life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, I get that.
It was property before.
It
was life, liberty, and property, and they switched it.
We can't act like inherently by game and design like that it is an equal standing across the board for a lot of these issues and concerns, because we've all done our damnedest to be in the positions we are today, to do X, Y, and Z, to have fluid careers and or being able to even shoot the shit on this podcast. But ultimately, at the end of the day, when it comes to someone looking you in the face and evaluating whether or not you are of value X, in some cases, it comes down to race, and it don't matter about my freedom.
Yeah.
My freedom is actually the inhibitor and impetus
Marco,
for what?
On the cool, I could be walking in a nice neighborhood to someone else's home, and I could just be walking on the sidewalk. Maybe I step on someone's property this much. They're racist as fuck. They will gun me the fuck down without any
And then say
hesitation.
property.
Property.
Stand in my ground.
That's it.
And
Stand
so
in my
that's
ground.
and so in cases like that, where I'm also still realistic and I'm still not 100% against guns. I'm just saying, why are these processes, these checks, these balances not so damn difficult to where it's like, cool, if it is real, if you really care about it and you're doing it that often, or you have a realistic need, then it should be worth I'll use this as an example, right? It should be worth the hell, because in this case, country that I'm very familiar with, Japan, right? They have they actually allow rifles, handguns, and shotguns. Again, like here, but it is legitimately a pain in the ass to get a hold of. Not only do you have to go through like checks, they also police who, if I'm not mistaken, don't carry arms already. So
Right.
they have to do
It's most in the world, though.
annual checks. Excuse me, or annual or biannual checks.
Yeah.
In terms of, hey, got to check your gun's been used. No, okay, how many bullets? What were you doing? All that kind of stuff. And all you got to do is be like, cool, hey, here's the date. Went out hunting, did X, Y, and Z. I'm good. Might have lost a bullet. It's not too hard to explain that part. But those checks and balances are in place. So gun violence doesn't, so that way it's like, cool, if you want to go through having a gun, it's all good and dandy. But just know that those sorts of checks and balances are there, and evaluations for keeping the peace are allowed.
Right.
But that's not why those gun laws are there. They're there because they lost the war and we took them over. And I'm not the dumb advocate that says we need to fight the government one day. That's stupid for sure. And
the apocalypse,
But they
guys.
vote. But they vote and they make the laws. People who think that. That's that's a lot of people. That
I do understand, and that goes back to the big compromise that we were talking about before. But I mean, we've had 3 points. I would like to make.
No.
I just wanted to get to that point, which was there's people that believe that. That's the big part of their constitutional thought and perspective of owning guns was for that reason, which is to fight the government in the event that they turn on them.
Okay, that is what some people believe, and to Tommy's, to disagree with Tommy,
How dare you?
Out of everybody to disagree with here.
How dare you
I know
disagree with
he's
Tommy?
very lovable.
He's very correct all the
know.
time.
But this law is not because they want to gun minorities down. This law isn't even about the freedom of the Second Amendment. And to go to speak to everything that you're talking about with Liz Cheney, these voting laws, everything that the GOP is doing, they're on desperation mode because most of their voting base is old. And the only thing that they can win, Joe Biden got elected. I mean, I know it was his first 100 days, like last month, but I mean, it's been less than 6 months. Let's use that number. Yeah. The first thing he did, or one of the first things that he's doing, or his first big plan, is infrastructure. They are legitimately trying to do something that makes this country better.
Realistically makes this country better, yeah.
So, despite the deficit going up and all the spending that Trump did on the military and everything, there's not a lot of tangible things that came out of a GOP-controlled Congress for 4 years.
Right.
So what they're doing, and this is the only way that they're playing the game, is they're trying to fight the culture war. That's why they have
Mr. Potato Head.
Which they made up.
Of course. They make most of them up.
They started the original culture war by the Satanic Panic in the 1980s.
Yes.
But not
Very
of
true.
course.
Yes.
Just so that people know that they're making this shit up. It's not real. I have an argument that cancel culture is not real.
It's not.
Well, that might be the next topic.
Right.
Go on.
We'll
That's
get
a
there.
good next
We'll
one.
get there.
But they have nothing to fight except the culture war because they had tangible, anything tangible that came out of Trump, nothing came out of it.
Zero.
The only thing that made
just
that,
red meat.
if you're conservative, is tax cuts, and obviously that ballooned the deficit, so it's not a good thing.
Right.
So that's why they're passing all these laws that are like, you can run over a protester. We believe in the Second. We believe in guns. We believe in this. We believe in that, because they're basically doing Minions memes in Congress. Is what it comes
still
down.
Dangerous, Mark.
It is dangerous,
Right.
But it's death throes. I
totally agree with you. That it's desperation. They're just grasping at straws.
I hate to do this just because I hate comparing politics in the real world to movies, but that's what we got to do at this point.
I'm a movie guy, so
Yeah.
it's great. It works.
So everything that happened with Obama created basically Trump Joker.
Totally.
Exactly.
I agree, yeah.
And now that Trump Joker has been defeated, they're just more to the right. They're more...
Yeah, we kind of talked about this. It's a pendulum of extremes, basically. And that motherfucker's incredibly extreme Trump. So, yeah. And I was telling you, I kind of like that Biden is there because he's an old man and that pendulum is slow. A little bit slower now, but it's really not because the GOP is keeping it kicked up. So, yeah. To me, though, I totally agree with everything you said. But just on the flip, those are still things they can do. Like the running over protesters law, that's an actual law that can get passed.
Yeah, Florida passed it.
Yeah, Florida, shocker. But those are real things, and that's gonna happen. I guarantee you, it's gonna happen, and the motherfucker who does it's gonna get off because of that. No telling how many people he kills in the process.
I don't think those laws can stand.
They won't. I agree. I don't think they'll stand, but they will be active for a while.
Right.
And that in itself is fucking dangerous.
There's time that the courts have to go through, and they have the advantage of putting it in place. They line up enough things in the way, like the way they're gerrymandering, the way they're voter suppressing, separate topic, but they're getting it in before the courts can do something about it, and it's going to be a bang bang where either the courts are able to shut that shit down or they're not until after. And then the effects are already there.
You can pass any law. You can, I think in Oklahoma, it's illegal to shoot a buffalo from a second-story building. It's just, will that hold if you ever get into a court case? And those laws are not going to hold. You still killed someone.
Or a buffalo.
No Buffalo. TJ.
Oh no. I kind of dominated the conversation. At this
No,
time.
well, I think we all.
Well, I don't know what the next. I don't know how many more topics we have. If we should
Damn,
go to
we went on
if we
for a
should
while.
go to if we gotta go
How
commercial
long we
break
been
and regroup, but that's pretty pretty
do?
good so far.
So-
very quickly.
As the host, I will say this is the time where we take a break and then we go into final thoughts and solutions towards.
Because this is not even. Oh man, I didn't even get into what I want to talk
Yeah,
about.
no. Break time.
Break time is good. But I'm saying I could go with another thing, but I don't think
put
we'll
it
get to
in
that
your
point.
final conclusion.
We'll put it there.
you
But yeah,
go.
take us to the commercial break. Tell the people that they can get all sorts of discount codes and Mex merch right now if they watch the commercial. So be sure to stick around for those commercials.
I don't know what the discount code is.
It's
what-
there. It's there.
Okay.
They can
Oh.
see it.
Really?
Audio listeners, you're missing out. You got to watch the live Twitch streams, twitch.tv/the_MEXCELLENC. Audio listeners, come watch us live one of these days.
You okay? You not
I'm
mad?
all right.
You're all right.
I'm looking at the
lose some?
audience. I'm looking at the audience, making sure that they got that sweet, sweet discount code. And I want to thank the audio listeners at this point because we're coming back from the commercial break and saying, hey, audio listeners, thanks for watching. Too bad, though, you're getting it a day late. If you watch us live on Twitch, you're getting that live at the same time. Also, if you're tired of hearing our voices, want to see our sexy, sexy faces, switch back. Yeah, thank you for switching back to your sexy, sexy yawning faces.
That's why I switched
Switch
back real
it.
quick.
Switch
I
it
got
so
your
you can see
back.
his yawning face. Point being, you can catch us on YouTube with them highlights if you need a little bit less time than 3 hours for a show. Or if you want to see our faces in full, just follow the Mexcellence archive on YouTube or just the Mexcellence on YouTube. Get those highlights, get that archive. You can see all of it in its full glory. It's wonderful. Be sure to do that and follow us on all socials. Just search the Mexcellence. You'll find us, and we'll get them all hammered out very quickly, and we'll be under one unified flag. And that's it, everybody. That's it. Do I have any?
You okay? You need a nap?
Do I need a nap? I need a hot pocket.
That's a very random
Pretty soon
thing.
you can use that discount code to get yourself. I'm kidding. I'm not gonna say
The discount
What
code
were
is
you
Hot
gonna
Pocket.
say? I will send someone a hot pocket if they request one in the notes of an order.
Nah, but today's been a very, very invigorating conversation. Hopefully, the second half will be projected
Second
towards
half? You want to go to 11?
The
Hell no!
conclusion, man.
the conclusion.
I'm about to say this is the final quarter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The final little bit will be more positive. That's what I meant.
I don't know about.
I don't.
positive.
Yeah, I can't promise that with this
Yeah,
dude.
This is one of the only, probably with us all being left leaning, agree to disagree podcast I think we're going to get to.
By positive, I meant thinking about genuine active solutions.
Well,
I want to make a joke, but I totally get canceled for reals.
Yes.
So you-
Canceling would happen and then be real for me. If I
so
said
you
it.
were saying, we'll start with you, just or at least the idea that you had, and then we'll go into final thoughts. You said, so as stringent as you were on, or as you've been defending your positions today, you didn't even get to mention something.
Yeah.
What is that something?
school shootings. And the fact they keep fucking happening. And the only thing that stopped them from happening was kids staying the fuck home. That is sickening to me. And I don't know how to fix it other than just take away guns forever. But obviously it's not real. And even in the wildest imagination, the most liberal everything, that's not going to happen. Nobody wants that for real. That's not a real argument. As much as I joke about it, I was like, take all the fucking guns. We don't need them. Which is something I actually legit think nobody needs a gun if we're doing everything right. Why would you?
Okay,
other
Beto.
Huh? Well, no, but
Okay,
other than for hunting for delicious treats, skeet shooting, target practice, I don't know, others kind of hot shooting hobbies. What do you need a gun for? Is my real thing, right? Or at the very least, what do you need an AR-15 or something that with more than 12 rounds?
Yeah,
What do you need them for? If you're shooting a buck with the AR-15, you're not a good shot. You suck.
suck at hunting,
You
yeah.
suck at hunting, and you don't deserve a gun.
You don't use an AR-15 for bucks. The round's too small.
Or like that one guy was like the 20 to 30 wild hogs that attacked my homestead. I forget what that was. That's a
I
real
still
thing.
think the round's too small.
No, but hogs
Cover a
are
hog.
hogs are like invasive species. I get that, but it's just funny.
if I saw a squad of hogs and I saw a dude with an AR-15, I'd be like, I get it. All right, you.
Yeah, yeah,
the
no,
one.
yeah. If 20
The
to
one guy.
if 20 to 40 hogs attacked this apartment, I had just a pistol, or if I didn't have a gun, oh, shit. How do I deal with this
the bullet
scenario?
hole from an AR-15 is like this small. You're not gonna hurt a hog. Like you
You
have to use
unload in
Yeah,
that.
I was about to say like you have to use a 357 like at close range usually.
I have no idea what the fuck you're talking about.
Nah,
You might as well be speaking Japanese. I have
Okay.
no idea what you're saying.
You're
Dirty
better.
Harry gun.
I'll put it in words you can understand. You're better off using a knife and slitting its throat.
Yeah.
Like you,
I can't do that to 30 to 50 hogs. That's just too difficult.
Gonna keep coming.
That's
I don't
why
have
that
that kind
AR-15's
of. I don't
there.
have that kind of bloodlust.
I'm telling you, you can't use an
Basically-
AR-15 for hogs.
Which just proves it's 0 points to an
Why do you need an
AR-15.
AR-15?
You don't. Zero.
Other than to
use
take a
of it.
man's life.
You don't need it.
Just I don't like AR-15s.
Right. Oh yeah, but
They-
that's the
but-
It's the
murder.
number one mass
Hey,
shooting
hold
weapon
up,
of
hold up,
choice.
hold up. Getting comments that the stream
Oh.
is choppy.
Oh.
So now.
Seems
what to
choppy. It might have lost. What's the timer say down there?
I'm hour 52.
Okay, so it never disconnected. That might just be your internet connection, buddy.
No, it's two people.
Oh well,
Oh, Paco's there.
Paco literally lives in a shack. You can't really.
He
count
actually
on-
lives in a 4-bedroom house that we might get to stay at when we
Like
see
I
the
said,
Cowboys
not
beat the
saying.
a
Raiders.
shack. I know. I have to double down or else. Let's see. Okay, so it never disconnected. That might just be your internet.
Yeah, you're fine.
Sounds clear as day.
Well, you know
Fix
what?
your internet, you fuckers. I'm kidding. I'm sorry.
But
But that's a good reason to watch on our YouTube channel in full in case you missed something due to a choppy stream.
we do have an archive.
We do have
We
an
do
archive,
have an archive.
and it's very sexy.
No, but in terms of ways to think about it and outlooks and really just genuine trajectory, I want y'all I
I
want
had
y'all
to refresh. Thank you, Boots be knocking.
I'm asking y'all to have a semblance of, trajectory in terms of outlooking perspective in terms of like, hey, realistically, where can we go? And I also want you to be a little more negative in terms
Yeah,
of
you positive bastard.
Yeah.
in terms of realistic outright.
Hey,
Hey,
sunshine
their
over
kind don't turn against each other.
Wait, what?
What's
I
that
turn
guy?
against you all the time.
No, military men.
Oh, okay.
We fight all the
Yeah,
time.
Actually,
What are you?
that's incorrect.
Still trust them more than you.
Yeah, but you guys listen to damn it, I lost the joke. Never mind. But I think that.
Sorry, who started off last time?
That was him.
It was.
but no, but it was
Marco.
So,
it was
Stan.
no,
No,
it was-
let me see if I can summarize your points real quick. So, school shootings. You'd like to take away all guns. Bad. AR-15's bad. Is that? Am I
No,
right?
not. I want to take away all guns. No, I say a proper functioning society has no need for guns other than for recreation. That's the dream. So nobody should be worried about having to protect their house. Nobody has to worry about protecting their kids or if they're walking down the street.
And if so, the solution should be one of said recreational things that you have.
Right, and so, but that goes down to me saying funding for food, shelter, and drug habits, things like that. Making sure people get the stuff that they need, community level. You don't need half that shit. And when it's fun, guns can be a delight. I'm not saying don't collect guns. I watch Pawn Stars, and they always have old guns all the time, old Gatling guns, and that shit is interesting. Guns have a rich history, and it is inevitably and intuitively, I'm looking for the right word, none of them are right, ingrained in our society, in American culture. It's just what it is. I mean, we grew up playing cops and robbers and cowboys and Indians, and that was all problematic, but we figured it out. And but ultimately, they're not going anywhere. And so if they're not going anywhere, then we have to make it to where they're safe and they're ultimately for killing. So how do we make them safe? Take the reasons why people need to use them away. That's how we do it. And however you think we can do it, great. Mine's going to be, like I said, social, political, food, shelter, support. That's how we do it. But since I want to do a small conversation about the tiers of guns, what's the biggest gun that you think people should have? Because obviously the Constitution says right to bear arms, but you're saying you don't like AR-15s, so you get rid of them or don't allow them? Or what's the cutoff for you, I wonder? Because
So-
you're a reasonable gun owner. I don't have the brain power. I can't say no more shotguns because that cuts off hunting or whatever. Or no more rifle longer than 12 inches because I don't know the fucking difference. So for you, what would be a reasonable
I think
cutoff?
handguns are longer than 12
I don't
inches.
know. This is what I'm telling you. But what's a reasonable cutoff for you so that babies don't get murdered? at these schools because I'm sick of it. I'm
But
fucking
you were
sick of it.
involved in one.
Yeah, and he had. I think it's just this, small automatic. I didn't look. I didn't
Doesn't
care.
matter. You was still,
I didn't look. I didn't care. I heard it.
Effect still,
And they're
was
fucking
the
yeah.
same,
That's my thing. Is that
Yeah, like I said, I had a gun pointed in my face. That's one fucking thing. Dude who had it was a bitch, so it doesn't matter.
Right.
So, but your shit is like shit that seems to be happening so much, so frequently.
I know. It's just that
and it seems like it's inevitable it will happen to everybody.
I will only pause and say that in terms of experiences of hearing and being around guns with death, there might be one person who's a little more qualified towards that notion.
Right, but he was. I don't know. No, hold on. That's why I'm asking you. I had nothing that wasn't super duper insulting, and so I just stopped.
Can't insult the guy.
I'm not. Which is why. Shut the fuck up, Tommy. I'm learning.
I think he's
all right?
called me stupid. Like it's okay.
I'll call you dumb and
Yeah, he
stupid
does call
all
you
the
that
time.
all the time.
But
It's fine.
but the things I would have called you would have been generic and awful and not true.
That's fine.
More importantly, but
growing up.
But
It's
that's
great.
a legit question, though. I'm protecting a brand. There's a difference. Yeah, what's your limit? What would be the ultimate either magazine capacity or
curious,
type of brand or whatever? And visual. Give me some visual representation because I want to know what the fuck you meant if you start naming off numbers and letters.
Submarines.
Like the sandwich?
No, the limit is submarines. Like everything before submarines
I would
is
like
probably
to
cool.
own a submarine, Marco.
Wait, so
That
you're
is
saying
on my
rocket
bucket
launcher's
list.
cool?
If you know how expensive a rocket launcher would
It
be,
doesn't matter.
But you're saying
Well,
rocket
Marco,
launcher is cool.
look, I have a very libertarian mindset.
That's
towards
not
it.
recreational.
It
even in the
is
most
legitimately
fun way.
recreational.
Yeah, I know
It can
there was a
be.
place in I want to say it was India or no, not India.
It's Vegas. You can rent one in Vegas.
No, there's one. It might have been in Africa because there was it wasn't Zimbabwe. It was somewhere else where you could use $500.
We don't do that there.
It was $500. You get a rocket launcher and you get to shoot a cow. If you miss the cow, you get $200 back.
What do you do if you
I
hit
wanna
the cow?
shoot the
Do you
cow.
Then that's $500. That's your
fucked
you pay.
up.
I thought it was a
$500.
better idea in Vegas where you shoot old Nazi
Cars.
tanks and
Yeah.
shit. Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, no.
it was a place in Texas where you could drive tanks and blow shit up.
No, I'm just saying this place in Africa somewhere. I believe it's Africa. $500. You shoot the rocket launcher. You blow up a cow. If you miss the cow,
That sounds like an
$200
India
back.
I'm
thing
sorry.
because
But India loves cows. That's
Yeah,
why
that's what I
it's
said. I was
TJ,
like,
no disrespect. I feel like Africa cannot afford to be just dropping cows just willy-nilly like that.
it's not like that everywhere, my guy.
I know not everywhere, but still, they can take that cow and put it somewhere in Africa where it's needed.
We don't even do that
Like-
here.
That's true. it's
Peter
a
be all
poor ass
over it.
part of the United States.
I'm
The
like-
Black Belt is
The
terrible.
only place I can see that being legal is Sudan, maybe.
That's rough.
Where there's pirates, but also
No,
really like
just
RPGs
pirates.
are cool.
Yeah. that's
Here's the
shocking.
thing that once you get to a certain things, so I hate ARs because they're expensive and they're not fun to shoot. Like they're like $2,000.
Look at it from out without the personal fun of it. Take that part out. Take out the.
I don't put myself into it in the sense that it's just like let's talk about cars just for a little bit. I'm
It's not the same.
Right.
No, I know it's not the same, but I am not a car guy.
Right.
But if somebody wants to spend $200,000 on a car,
But if you but that's not the thing.
That car can't take out like 8 families.
but you-
though.
It can if you really want it.
Well, yeah, I can.
No, but you're king of the world. You may not have the car knowledge, but you do have the gun knowledge. So knowing that a certain level of gun or a certain type of gun creates a level of massacre destruction on your own people from whether it be terrorists or lone actors, where is your cap for a gun, or where would it be for a physical type of gun or a style of gun or a level of magazine that would keep that from happening, because you know that the math is somewhere past a certain point, which is AR with a lot of rounds and potentially those bump stock rules. I'm not, like I said, not
Bump stocks
knowledgeable
are
about it.
gone.
Huh?
bump stocks are gone.
Okay, so then now it's over here. Now we're bringing it back a little bit into frame.
So I mean,
So where do you get it to where people can have guns and not murder babies?
I would just say that, and I'm only defending this because I haven't seen it yet. If rocket launchers are actually available within the current law
Just
set,
because you
Moving
can.
the fuck out.
no,
launcher.
I'm saying that I haven't heard any issues with them yet. So obviously, it must be a bitch and a half to get.
So
Oh, it's very difficult
So
to
here's a
get
really like dark thing that
Go for it.
audience. So you can own anything older than 80 years as an antique.
Right.
Including Gatling guns.
Grenades, too, also.
Including
Yeah, I thought
grenades,
so.
including rockets. So it's...
Dust it off and
No, but having the right to own it is different than doing something about it. You could change that rule so you don't have an 80-year-old grenade that could just go off at any point, right?
to be fair, this is my guy. You're my guy. That's my guy. So I'm with all of you. I really agree with all of you. Every point y'all have made. How many rocket launch incidents have we had exactly? Here.
That's a real tough. That's why I was like, I've heard about rocket launchers. Now I know we're jinxing ourselves.
so
Literally,
if
we gonna go outside.
We got to put it out there.
No,
It's
but my
real.
thing is-
our cars.
No, but if that's the
My
case,
Nissan.
but if that's the case, what is the situation where it's like, yeah, man, step up, motherfucker. Yeah, you step up, motherfucker. Yeah, what you gonna do about this? What are you gonna do about this?
That will end some shit quickly.
That is the nuclear option.
That is
for lack of a better term.
That is
Hey, I
legitimately-
feel like there'd be a.
You can't hide that. You don't pick a fight with the dude that has a rocket launcher for
You
one.
got it, man. I'm out.
I feel like at the point he's pulled out the rocket launcher, like he's
When did he pull it out?
There's a scene that's specifically this in Malibu's Most Wanted, where I want to say it's Kumar. What's his?
I mean, it's also in
Cal Penn pulls out a rocket launcher. Nick Swartzen has a musket. And then-
I mean, it's also seen in what is it? Don't Be a Menace.
Don't Be a Menace also had a scene
Yeah.
that way.
Yeah.
And in both those scenes, it ended the exact same way with the person driving the fuck off.
Right.
Because that would actually happen.
All right.
So here's where I'll get.
That is a great point for you. Point mark.
Poor Marcos. You know what? Rocket launchers successfully argued for on the Mexcellence podcast. Mexcellence fully endorses rocket launchers.
I mean,
I wouldn't go that far. But go ahead, Mark.
I'll get real in the sense that TJ was like, be a little bit more negative or a little bit more realistic, and so I was challenged by that. So here's the only, because I think that you can legally own anything up to that as well, because you're going to be priced out. Even at this point in time, I don't know how the kid from El Paso bought an AR. Like they're super expensive.
But you also grew up poor, bro. Like me, in one point in my life. So our accessibility, we have a cap.
mentally.
Look, let's put it this way. Mentally, insider baseball. We sell insurance.
yeah.
How many times have you looked at a price that somebody could afford that we couldn't?
Well, that is actually the answer.
Right.
Is insurance. I believe that if you own a gun, you should have a liability policy for it.
What would it be paying out? So if you shot somebody, is that the situation we're talking about?
No, it's so.
What would it be
I
enacted?
feel like
In what
this
way
is
would
the
it be enacted?
compromise between me, crazy gun guy that thinks you should have rocket launchers, and you, dude, that's like,
Preferably no guns. But
preferably no.
guns, but like everything else would
Yeah.
be fixed.
right.
So it's just an added charge because you can't. The bottom line is, as many laws as California has, they still have shootings. Mexico has the strictest gun laws of any other country.
Hey.
We know what happens in Mexico.
Technically, if there's a purge in this new trailer, go to Mexico and they will save you from the United States gun laws and craziness.
So the only thing that you can do is have an added charge that it's just like, hey, if somebody committed a mass shooting, they didn't have the insurance liability for it, they're fucked financially on top of being fucked criminally.
I don't think
almost like anti-insurance.
I don't think that that's enough a deterrent.
I actually haven't thought about the route of insurance because I'm going to counteract that with if you make the cost actually like especially once you get to like expensive guns.
The Chris Rock method.
Yeah.
I want bullets to be $5,000.
Yeah.
Not like, but if you make the it's almost
Sorry
less of
for
an
that,
insurance,
Chris
more of a
Rock.
tax. But
The
if
people that are really into guns, so the average gun owner has 20 guns.
Right.
I'm not the average gun owner.
Right.
I only have 3.
Right, and I'm the average American who doesn't have them, and so therefore the percentages.
arsenal.
Yeah, there's people that I'm weighing down the overall balance.
Yeah.
just because I don't.
So if you're the kind of dude that can afford 30 ARs and all the other dumb shit that they have, like, cool. Hope you can afford the insurance for all these other things.
So then the insurance payout to the families of the people that got shot,
Yes.
murdered. I still don't like it because I'd rather them be alive, right?
but
Some motherfuckers will just do that just cause. I mean, I paid the insurance. Might as well go.
Right?
Yeah.
They paid the insurance. I was like, all right, just gonna go
That
to
will
killing
get to
spree
my
now.
point. That'll get to my point. But yeah, go ahead, TJ.
I think. Well, you've got me thinking about actually some, economical kickbacks from it, but I think there's a multifaceted layered system to where there can be guns and still be people who, take them as a hobby. I think that there should be a hard limit. Fuck it. I don't believe in the collectionist nonsense. I think that, like, if you have a hobbyist, then much like any project car, anything you're doing, like, you swap it in, you're like, cool, next project, whatever you want to do. But if you're owning 20, there's no reason to have those 20, with the exception of people who, if they want to go above that limit, like antique owners, things of that nature, I'm talking heavy financials, like hit them in their pocketbooks. Be like, every gun you own over a certain number, much like your insurance sort of mindset, much like your insurance mindset, make sure that it is fiscally a detriment. Because at that point, after a certain point and number, to me, it's not like if you're a collector, if you're an enthusiast, whatever you want to be, it's going to cost you to have and continue to maintain those things. On top of, I actually think that his insurance sort of structure can work in a world of, in terms of the guns that you do have, and we're not talking about like a cheap insurance, like it's going to be a full ass bill to own certain things, which would deter those who are in these impoverished scenarios where you're like, hey, you're in poverty, X, Y, and Z. Well, handguns wouldn't have the same insurance that I'm not even thinking about insurance on handguns, but we're talking like, cool, someone's getting real crunk crazy with rifles, getting up into the layers, then that's not self-defense no more. Put that monetary tax on there. But ultimately, I still fundamentally think that within the pantheon of mental health and facilitating the structure around these things, I'm not also angling it from a perspective of necessarily like mental health is going to be the cure for everything, right? And we need to just target gun owners. Right. I also think there just needs to be genuine, unbiased education on how on guns, the mental health in relation to it, and ensuring that those who are growing up understand the implications behind it. Because my other issue that we haven't even addressed yet, and it kind of builds off of your school shooting thing, is that the more society advances, the easier of access in terms of information and things become to be. And plain and simple, I know you hate me saying this, but the youth is soft. And so I'm in the camp where let's not make like the weight of what happens with guns and what can happen with guns needs to be realistically portrayed and educated, because then that impetus also builds onto mental health and things of that nature. And so it's a multifaceted approach. But if you want to talk about the easiness, because the government, they love money. So the taxes and making the shit expensive as hell to make it an expensive hobby, that's the best way to get rid of it. That's the best way to limit it.
Two very quick points, because I just want to mention them, not to undercut you or anything like that. One, I feel like that would price out poor people getting guns. And I do think that even though I'm very anti-gun, that because it is under the Constitution, that would be something that would potentially be unconstitutional.
I'm surprised by that point.
I know. No, but if we're talking about reality,
You're preparing yourself for the purge, clearly.
Yeah, well, no.
I literally said that
it
goes from tiers.
Okay.
So that's why
he
handguns
literally
not
said
that
like
much.
a handgun
Yeah.
insurance would probably be comparable to motorcycle insurance, $15 to
Or
$60
less.
a month.
Right.
Okay.
But owning like an AR would probably be
So that's fair, but I just wanted to put that out there, float it out there, just so it's been said for the people who are shouting at their screens right now. The other part was these kids ain't soft because they deal with school shootings all the time. They prep for them. No, they prep for them. They've experienced them at higher volumes, at least scares, than we did when we were kids. These kids have a different relationship with guns, experiences in that way than we do. And these aren't even bad schools that we're talking about. Bad schools have these things. We can understand that. But these are other schools that aren't maybe necessarily as bad that are having these drills that they're preparing for, like we did for earthquakes at us. Maybe you guys did for floods, or I don't know what you guys had. But tornadoes. But they have it in their brain too in a different way.
Like how we were all like, earthquakes, tornadoes.
But I'm always an advocate for the children's. right?
No, and I totally
yeah,
understand
they're
that.
soft.
You are both right.
Yeah. They're soft, but that is
got a kind of a
a
reason.
reality
Yeah,
for them.
yeah, their lives-
that they have anxiety about.
It's a
that they worry
post
about.
9/11 generation. And that's a whole thing.
And I actually think that, and this one kind of blows, but if anywhere should have metal detectors, and 1 second, Argo, we're mid-20s, early 30s, so kind of a bit of distance. But in terms of if anywhere should have mandatory metal detectors, I honestly think we're getting to the point to where schools are kind of being that camp.
A lot of schools in LA have them.
LaGrange has one.
Yeah,
I didn't.
A lot of schools in LA have them.
And we had a gun issue. So.
It's that, along with policing, police in the schools is not conducive to an educational environment. It doesn't help anything. It creates a different level of anxiety. We can get into that later. I'm not a big fan of it myself.
But it's how do we actively approach this in a realistic manner? Because in a world where, like I said, it's not because I want to have them there. It's because it's hit the point of concern.
Address the mental health things on a school level. Fund counselors. Fund mental health issues. Prioritize that
What's
in school.
cheaper?
Huh? Cheaper's one thing. I get
the
it.
main issue right now when it comes to high school shootings, I mean, I haven't looked into all of them. I take them in as a case-by-case basis because they happen so often, and I throw it away because it's just like, it'll happen again in another 2 weeks.
You can't keep that sadness in. Don't hold that sadness in. Just a piece of advice.
As a society, we can't.
Don't forget, but don't hold the sadness in because it'll fucking kill you.
I mean,
but
what was the
then there's
shooting
the-
in Connecticut? The first like sad one with kids getting shot.
Dude, like needle
Sandy
in a
Hook.
haystack
Sandy Hook.
type.
Sandy Hook.
Okay.
That was it. But it was just like after that, I was like, game's on. Like it's just like
It's
this
just
is the reality of
It's
life
what
now.
life is now, and
And
that's,
and why? But my only and damn, I'm sounding hopeful now. I said, why do we accept that as the regular when nowhere else accepts that as the regular?
And why do you
That's a
accept
great-
it being the fact that gun metal detectors are cheaper?
Because they are.
I know, but why would you accept that as the option when we
Because
could just
realistically-
I know, but if we're talking about optimism, our reality is what we make it, and we could put billions into our school systems and get it right.
Our teachers don't even get paid.
Right?
just
No,
normally
but
right
but
now.
I'm talking. But that's what
Again,
I'm
whole-
talking about.
whole nother subject.
No, but that's ultimately what it is. I think honestly, the solution to everything is education. Really, if you get more people educated, you can't take that from them.
Can school system be the next topic? Because
But it just goes to everything. And if we're educated, we know that by putting money into schools and investing the money, we'll get it tenfold. But we don't want to do it because it's cheaper. Because metal detectors and policing is cheaper, and it scares the kids, makes them uncomfortable, and it does nothing for them.
Why are they being scared? Because
mean-
they're soft.
No,
That's what that goes back to my initial point.
TJ, let me make it dark for you because one of my friends got fucking assaulted and I'll say trigger warning. I'm gonna use the R word. Raped at the fucking school, and the cop that was supposed to help her didn't do a goddamn thing about it. That's why
I was actually about to.
they-
It's same page, different note.
Don't work.
The Parkland shooting, the security guards ran the other way.
right. They
Yeah.
don't work.
You know, that shit
and they're
doesn't work at
intimidating,
all.
and they fuck with black kids, and they fuck with Mexican kids, and I don't like them.
yeah,
Not saying
See, therefore,
policing.
we need
Well,
less gun laws because they only
Well,
they target minorities and
if you motherfuckers let me make my point,
Yeah,
God
go
damn
for
it.
it. Go
We're almost done.
But
But no,
trying
but
to get to
Tommy, we're saving the best for last.
No, I'm not the best. I just want to get my fucking point across.
Go for it.
So my thing is,
I agree with everybody. Shut up.
my point is
nice.
this. Like, I agree. Yeah, hit them in the pocketbook. Absolutely. Mental health. Absolutely. Point is still going to be a fuck ton of just random ass guns out there. It would take a decade and a half to completely clear that out if you made a fucking legit gun law. So we're still fucked for a good couple decades regardless. Doesn't matter. It still needs to be done. But a point, like you brought up, Japan, a country I was going to bring up was Switzerland, with smaller country, obviously. Shitload of people have guns there. Damn near zero gun violence. My issue is America
they have
America.
as a whole.
Switzerland has bullet protection. You have to like sign basically.
Can we
like
not have that?
No, probably not.
See?
Though we basically have it. I mean, it's so expensive right now that.
To me, Marco, it doesn't fucking matter if we did. We are a different goddamn breed. And as soon as we can realize we are a different fucked up breed, the better we can make changes. Because our mentality is fucked up. This debate probably wouldn't happen in a lot of countries. We are fucked the fuck up.
Assuming humans want to make
Fuck
changes.
the fuck up, Sammy. It's what we are. And like, dude, we are not like everyone else in this country. We are spoiled. We are entitled. All that shit. It's mostly white America, let's be honest. But still, like, we do not have the mindset regardless, even if every fucking gun law was in place to avoid half the shit that happens here, because we are a fucked up society and it's ingrained in us. So my solution is it's really probably no solution. Honest. I know that sounds very grim. Complete opposite of Marco.
This was the same way you ended social media.
It was, because we suck, man. I'm sorry.
That's how Tommy's
dude.
gonna end all of these
I love
episodes.
this fucking country with everything, but we suck. And we suck and we don't want to get better. And that's the issue. If our society for inkling gets better, then okay, like the whole thing, like I don't give a fuck if we have guns. I'm from Texas. My goddamn pharmacist has a gun behind like to us, it doesn't matter. And you're right, that's ingrained in us. But also because it's ingrained in us, we've seen, and like Marco said, shockingly, we don't have as much gun violence as you may think we should have. And a lot of it is like, oh, this motherfucker might have a gun, this motherfucker. A lot of it is that too. But the fact of the matter is it doesn't matter, really, because we're still no better. We still have it. It just might not be to the clip of some other fucking states, but it's not that far off. It's still an issue.
Just because you have a powder
Never
keg
have I
doesn't mean
ever.
it's not going to catch fire.
That's what I'm saying. Like one day we may have fucking 8 in a row. We don't know. And that's the thing. Like if you just send people out with very little anything, all I can ask for is, like, it's not going to stop mass shootings. All I can ask for is do the fucking best you can to stop it. Make it difficult, make it expensive, make it all those things, because at least that would detour something. Do I think that's going to solve anything? Fuck no. It's still going to be, at least, hey, maybe we'll have a mass shooting once a month instead of once every fucking week. That's about that's as most as I can hope for. Exact opposite of Marco. That's your optimist right there. I'm pessimistic as fuck. I think people are shit. But go ahead.
I was going to agree and disagree, but I agree in terms of, I mean, you know me. I am Captain America sucks.
Yeah.
I do not believe,
Zero faith in society, in
I do
American
not
society.
believe
Yeah.
in American education, our
It all
systems.
sucks.
And this is coming from someone who actually like
Born and raised here, love it, but still.
I love certain aspects
Hey,
in terms
look,
of,
if you can't say what's wrong with your country, you don't love your
like,
country.
this is
That's
also-
my whole philosophy.
This is also a country to where like you download an app and you can have a job if you have a car. Like, and so, you know, there's things that I do appreciate and have aspects for, but to put into simple how entitled we are, and I remember this, and this is the example I use anytime anybody tells me about privilege in America. Sometimes I'm like, yo, my little cousins came here from Zim, and they told their mom, my cousin, and she was, my how do you call them, niece and nephew, like your cousin's kids.
Those are technically their
Second cousins.
Second cousins
Second
once
cousins.
removed or
All
something
right,
like
no,
that.
okay.
But
my little
Depends.
nephews.
Yeah, there you go.
My little nephews come and they're like, Mom, this roads are straight and flat here. Because there's actual pavement and shit all everywhere.
Yes.
Right.
And it's spacious.
And you know, we sitting here being like, shit, fucking Uber Eats charged me an extra 50 fucking cents.
Yeah.
But that's what we've built this fucking piece of shit country on.
Yeah.
And I don't think the country itself is a piece of shit.
No,
I think our
it's a
mentality
great
is a
country.
piece
Our
of shit.
mentality does not. Put it this way: the country we have and all its philosophies, the people in that motherfucker don't deserve it.
And
that's the issue. Like America's been advertised as one thing since the very beginning. It's never lived up to that shit. It's not because of the country itself. It's because of the motherfuckers in the country. Do better, goddammit. Shit, you're disappointed.
yeah, Ted Cruz, you fucking
Oh, he's
idiot.
a piece of shit. We ain't
I
talking about that
I just want to
motherfucker.
talk about him because I hate him.
and one point that I will make, and you hear me, and I've said this, and I said it today. Good night, Xavier.
Night, Xavier.
Is, you know, I've said that the youth of a country is soft. But America itself is also soft because the moment that you tell something is wrong with this goddamn country, oh no. This is why, same reason why I can't get fucking people to wear, once again, I still can't get over the fact that we can't get people to wear masks, which is not that hard.
Zero. Not at all.
Thank you, Argo. He said the setup is beautiful.
It's just, it's one of those things where.
That's a perfect example of the mentality.
Like literally.
And it kind of, and just a little emphasis, you know what's funny? I think that only came around post 9/11. I think that even in the 80s and even early 90s, ask not what your country could do for you, ask what you could do for your country. I still think people had that.
You're missing a big step, which is Reagan.
Reagan did ruin a lot.
Reaganomics, yeah.
Right. but I think
Trickle down, baby.
No, but I do think that even in the remnants and the shadow of that, there was still that idea that we can do something to make America better. And
Or
after
great
9/11,
again.
and after 9/11, it became us versus them, which was us Americans against the world.
Everyone
and
else.
if you weren't on our team, you were on their team, whoever that was. And I think that's what started this whole us
Hypothetical
versus
them.
them.
You're a little bit wrong just because.
But-
I'm just gonna make this point real quick. Because your view is based on what your life is,
Right.
and when you read history, that's been the thing since the Manifest Destiny. Communism in the 1950s, like there's always been a them, like there has
Right.
always
Right, and I'm just saying, but now the them is within ourselves. It's we're all Americans, and then the them is Republicans, or the them is Democrats, or the them is this and that.
Yeah.
Right, and now we're at each other's throats as if we're, like we are the commies. You know, you used to hate those fucking pinko bastards, and now we're the pinko bastards. Whoever direction you're pointing it, left or right. So now it's just ugly and terrible. But that's I think we're a little bit off of guns.
We
now.
never got out of our country.
Also,
was
what's
built,
happening in the chat?
Our country was built
They're
on
talking about
rebellion.
soft.
Soft.
And look,
It's
no,
soft, but our country was built. One second, I was just gonna say our country was built on rebellion, and we just never
never let that mentality go.
We were always looking for niggas to fight.
Always. No.
Like, and then anytime we don't have people to fight, we'd be like, all right, shit, okay, we got
What we
people
got?
to fight here.
Black people, Indian people, Middle Eastern.
Oh, Mexicans.
Mexicans. You're up now. No, I've always said that this country's always needed someone to hate, no matter what. It just perpetually needs someone to fucking hate. You can go back from the beginning to right the fuck now. You will find a key demographic where people hate them. Right now, it's Asian Americans. Black people, we perpetual in that bitch. If they can't
Right.
find anybody, it's us.
Right.
That is this country. Tell me it's no racism or it's no this or it's no that. But TJ, the soft thing, point, I'm going to defend them a little bit.
You got to defend the kids.
Gen Z, individually, they're soft as baby shit. But collectively, they have something we ain't got. Like, they are like 60s level. When they unite against something, they are far more powerful than we ever the fuck
When
were.
that Korean pop band says, "Hey, we need to do that,"
If it works, hey.
Bro, K-pop stands are the ultimate political group.
They really are. They are saviors. But the thing is, look, they don't like millennials for whatever reason.
because we're old.
Let me just, if any are watching, let me give you a good little example of this generation. We were children of the fucking 90s. Maybe one of the most peaceful, economically thriving periods in American history. Republicans and Democrats got along. Went out for beers afterwards, a lot of them. What the fuck did we have to focus on but Nickelodeon and what the next fucking Disney? Like, it was so peaceful. We had zero. We didn't have any. We didn't have a fire in us.
Somebody
that
whispered.
burned.
The ozone layer might be going away. I'm like, we'll worry about it later.
Hey,
That sounds like a I'm 20 problem.
Right? No, but we heard murmurs.
Reagan
of
took
it.
care of that one.
Yeah, mermaid, but that was nothing to rile us up like a society where, a fucking plane ran into a building. That's what I know. That's
Right.
all I fucking know was that.
And
That's
we were-
one of the first things I know is that people are evil and they ran a fucking plane into a building and killed thousands of people.
And-
Their mindset's completely different from our exact opposite end of the fucking spectrum
Right.
as ours. And the thing is, like, no, we do not have that fire, but they have that fire. And like I said, when they unite, they get shit done.
Yeah, and what's even funnier is that they have a Rodney King every week, and we
Every
were
goddamn
too
week.
young for ours. And then
We had Rodney King. They had George Floyd.
no, but they've had plenty
And
to go
millions
before
in
that.
between, yeah.
Millions in between.
All right.
I'm just saying.
All right,
That's
All right, go. All right, you know what? Let me just say this. We need to get close to the end. That's all we're getting. But all I will say about racism in general.
Right.
Millennials are way less racist than Gen X, Boomers. Well, Gen X was a huge step, actually.
Yeah, we looked
and
up to them a
now
little
Gen
bit.
Z, I don't think racism
It's
is a
dumb
thing.
as fuck to them.
Yeah.
Like, they don't understand the logic. A lot of them, some of them, of course, but a lot of them don't understand the logic behind it.
They're at a point where they're all mixed race at this point.
And they don't even really look at it that much. And you can only imagine the generation after them, it's damn near going to be vanished.
They're gonna find different things to be racist.
Yeah.
And then pass the ball, TJ. You can end this cultural thing, and then we'll get back to guns, and then end it.
Oh no,
We could just end it after this.
We can end after this point.
Guns are bad.
No, okay. So to end off my Gen Z hate train.
Right.
Look, okay. So, y'all niggas ain't dating one, all right? So I deal
That
with
sounds like a personal problem. So.
That sounds like a you problem.
No,
and
no,
I was
no.
in recent history, I was very close a lot of the time.
But I say the reason why is because I get to learn about, like, you know, the perspectives,
Right.
the sort of mindsets, the conversations, and things of that nature. And I actually agree in terms of being able to address very, like, shit, they'll talk about gender like it's, I'll be like, oh, don't do it. Like, hey, disrespect people of any kind. It don't change the fact of softness, because, you know, it's cool if everybody gets participation trophies, but
It's not a real thing.
it's a real thing, but not getting into that. We're talking about guns.
Different subject, yeah.
But seriously, jokes aside, I do think that's why I'm so prevalent in education, because Gen Z, even millennials, because with our education and our kind of care when we get older, a little bit, we're really apathetic. But I think that the education will run itself farther, right?
Yeah.
That's why it becomes way more important, because we'll learn and be like, cool, I'll leverage this shit when I need it. Gen Z will learn and then take it and run,
forever.
right?
And real quick, sorry, like, the whole thing with this, a lot of states.
It's been real quick for like
Real
20
quick.
minutes.
Last point. Yeah, no, like the whole thing where a lot of states don't want to teach black history. The students are the ones that are pushing for them to actually teach black. So yeah, they're not bad, Sammy. Like, I'm not saying they're bad. You hate them, but they're not bad. I love them. They're the hope. That is my hope. You think I'm completely just pessimistic?
He's not the one who. He's
they
not
are
the
my
one who
hope.
hates him. But okay, yeah, put on
defending the children's.
But no, seriously.
Marco, yeah.
I think that like, you know, first of all, today's was a great and conducive conversation. It
was fantastic.
I think that most of us have, you know, like, ultimately we might be arguing from different perspective and different points, but the general understanding is still there that we, at the end of the day, we still do. Everybody, even Marcos, who is the most forward-leaning in terms of this, still believes that there's certain aspects and variables that do need to shift and change to make sure that where we live and what we breathe and kind of where we hopefully will raise families, or hopefully not, will be safe.
I just think that if you don't think anything's wrong, you're fucking blind. So get with the program and figure out what needs to get done. And if you don't want to do it, then shut the fuck up and get out of here. That's it. And I'm not saying get out of here like of the country. I'm just saying
Tell them you're not a real
just
American.
fuck off. No, just fuck off.
They don't
because
like that when you tell them.
But just actually, you know what? Actually, Tommy, you're absolutely right.
Yes, they don't
if
like
you
that.
don't want the good of everybody when you do your things, then you're not a real American. As someone who hates guns, don't want them, don't fucking like them. Did I once say that we could take them away, or that we should, or that people shouldn't have them, or that people are dumb for having them? There's reasons that we set up that we're not addressing. What the hell's going on?
Prepping something out of it.
Okay.
Anyway.
Threw them off completely.
Anyway, so I'm not gonna repeat everything I just said, but yeah, don't be un-American. Fight for gun control. Oh, we're gonna get copyright stricken, don't you? I mean, you know what I'm gonna do.
Shit, DMCA. Copyright scarier than gun laws.
No, Anger Joe got hit over some bullshit. I don't want to get hit with some bullshit.
He actually didn't.
Huh?
You saw his video he was dropping in reference to. He wasn't hit on that.
He got hit. We'll figure it out.
But no, seriously.
No one more point. We're done.
No. I was closing us out. I was doing the closing. Marcos, thank you so much for leading the conversation.
Trying my best.
You did great.
You guys should be applauding me for not shouting at every single one of you.
You did pretty good.
No, that's his inner Gen Z wanting a participation.
Yeah, there you go.
I hate soft.
Boomers were the ones that gave out the participation trophies.
all
We didn't
hate
want
them,
them.
so it
No,
doesn't-
we didn't want them. They gave it to us because they couldn't stand their kids were pathetic. That's why we got participation trophies.
Very true.
Because they couldn't understand that they failed.
In conclusion,
Boomers are failures.
I think this is the way most topics should go, with varying points of view, just because that is the work. That is what everybody is overlooking. And this is the discussion we were having before everyone showed up. That it's America is, I don't know what, how many billions of people, how many millions of people?
Too goddamn many.
Too many goddamn people. But all those people get to vote. And all those people get one voice.
Well, a little bit harder for some of us now.
It is.
No.
Not you, because you're rich. Poor black people, a little bit harder.
That's
now.
not what I meant. I meant let the
Next
nigga
subject,
finish.
voting suppression. Go ahead.
In an ideal world, which we're not there yet.
Right,
And
not even close.
Yes. And every compromise is what it's supposed to do is leave you unhappy. That's what the founding fathers literally based this country
Right.
is. It's just like, I believe Hamilton wanted us to go to church. Like, it was a law that you had to go to church on Sunday. And Thomas Jefferson was like, no. And they yelled about it for 3 days.
Yeah.
And no one was happy at the end of
It
it.
was still cool.
Yes.
Everyone here still loves each other, by the way.
Actually, I'm going to shoot all of them in a duel at
You're
some
just
point in the next
undoing
5 years.
everything we've done.
In the next 5 years, I'm challenging every one of these people
You know,
to a
we
duel.
wouldn't have all these gun issues if everybody had Jesus. So maybe.
So I think the conclusion of this is find Jesus.
Maybe give yourself up to the Lord.
Flying spaghetti monster.
Amen.
But I just want to give a quick shout out to. Sorry, I know it sucks for me to pull up my phone online, but I don't know what we're doing next week without it. So Monday. Wait, quick question. When are you leaving?
It's a weekend. It's like a Thursday.
All right, no problem then.
Wait, you're leaving?
Like Memorial Day.
Oh, I forgot you're leaving.
I'm flying.
Bring me some back.
All right. Monday,
Gotcha.
we will be having our Kicking with the Compas episode where we just talk about current events.
Woo! I'm excited for that. It's my favorite show. I'm not lying. It's my favorite show.
Calm down. It's all right.
I like the show. I like the show.
If he likes it, hey, everybody will show up for
Exactly.
Wednesday, we'll be having Más o Menos Mexicanos, where we'll be talking about the colorism that goes on with Mexican
you.
culture.
Have a subject on that ourselves.
I was about to say, like, when I said it last time, it
Yeah.
was like, yeah, light-skinned
Key-
people do get
Key,
treated.
I'm sorry, but light-skinned dudes are played out.
Hey, all I'm saying, it's dark chocolate's
where
been
it's
okay.
at.
It's been in season
Worked
for as long
me.
as I've been in the game.
Same
So
here.
I don't
Same
know.
here. It was the
I don't know.
80s.
But
It was
colorism
the
is a
80s.
thing. Colorism.
That's our own thing. Go ahead.
Maybe we'll have them on. And then last but not least, the man of the hour, McGrew's Reviews, we'll be doing a special episode next
Yes.
Friday where we will watch the movie together and then review it. I don't think you'll be here for that.
I leave on Memorial Weekend, so the next weekend.
Okay,
so I'll be
so
here
yeah.
all next week.
Okay.
So, what is that movie for?
Army of the Dead.
Army of the Dead. Come watch us, drink with us, have a good time with us. It's Friday again. It's sad. I love that song.
I love that song.
So I'm just like, so come join us Friday. We're gonna have a good time. We'll have the schedule and all our social media. And speaking of social media, you can find me on Twitter, on Instagram, on everything, on SoundCloud, Spotify, everything. Just search the Mexcellence, TheMexcellence. You know where to find
323
me.
million voices.
What?
Somebody did the Google search. It's 323 million people in America.
It's a lot.
They all need to follow me at the Mexcellence on social media
help tremendously.
and on Twitch. Give us a subscribe if you got it. Give some bits. Do the things you do on YouTube. Find us with our clip highlights at the Mexcellence and then the Mexcellence archive to get this entire show in full with glorious video aids. Tommy, where can they find you?
They can find me at Tommy McGrew_art at Instagram.
TJ.
Instagram, TJ Mana. Unless you're a Gen Z person.
And then Marcos, where can they find you?
I'm the host, damn it. Stop it.
It's already over.
Put him in timeout. No, yeah, you can find me by typing jail Marco62 into anything. Thanks, guys, for coming out. We actually had
Consistent above 10.
Yeah, no, I saw the numbers look good.
Went to 16.
And so do all of them out there. Y'all look wonderful. I could see you guys. You know that, huh? That we could see them? Stop touching yourself, man. That's really gross, dude.
So please don't forget, did not mention it because we've been diving into serious topics all show. But if anybody in these wonderful 16 viewers or now at 14, please share it with your friends and share it with peoples, because I promise you, once we get to 100 subscribers / followers, we'll make sure that the OG people who are here are treated right with raffles, gifts, sweepstakes, all
They're
that kind
part
of
of this crew.
Have you seen mexmerch.com? There's so much free shit we can give you guys.
Like literally, we'll make sure you're hooked up. So
First
get us
goal.
there.
First goal. 1,000 subs on YouTube. We're less than 300 away. That's possible. Help us get there. I believe in us.
second goal, burrito holders.
What?
Bye.
Is that how we're going to end the show?
Yes.
Yes.